The Tigers of the University of Pacific have spent the last 2 weeks airing up the Big West record book. Led by sophomore Troy Cox, the Pacific passing attack now ranks 3rd in the nation and spearheads a no-huddle offense that has rung up 129 points in the last 2 games. Tonight, they'll test the Western Athletic Conference's leading defense. Led by sackman Mark Odom, the swarming, unpredictable Hawaii Rainbow defense has allowed only 16 points a game this season. The Tigers are taking aim. The Rainbows are gearing up. Get ready for the impact. The fireworks are about to begin from Aloha Stadium. It's Pacific against Hawaii. Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Leahy along with Bobby Curran. Welcome to our coverage of collegiate football. Tonight, Hawaii against Pacific. This is a silver anniversary meeting between these two teams. This series started way back in 1939. And for this particular meeting at Aloha Stadium tonight, Bobby, the air will be filled with footballs, and you can take that literally.
Jim, it certainly will. That's the offense being employed by Pacific. They have a young quarterback in Troy Cox. He has really developed. Started as a true freshman, had some problems last season, but now understands this conceptually. He's finally got the receiving core that can help him out with this, and they're developing a great deal of confidence.
He's coming off an NCAA record performance. He is the first quarterback ever to throw for more than 500 yards on successive weeks. And so Cup is in Aloha Stadium tonight to ply his trade against the Rainbows. And for the Rainbows, their defense has to be up to the test tonight.
Well, the Rainbow defense, interestingly, is schematically designed for this kind of an offense. They have linebackers that run well. They've been very happy with a young secondary. It's going to be a great challenge for the Rainbow defense. But as Rich Ellerson, the defensive coordinator, says, this is the fun of coaching and playing.
So we could have a high-scoring game tonight, the way that Pacific has really been passing the ball well. And the way that the Rainbows are just starting to come around now with a very young, inexperienced line. They have filled in. They had a good performance last week. They hope to keep it going tonight against Pacific. When we return, we'll be back with the kickoff. The Tigers of Pacific against the Rainbows of Hawaii. He came in with a 1-9 record and really played well against the Rainbows. Rainbows finally actually surviving in that game, 34-26. There's Walt Harris, the coach of Pacific. He is in his 2nd year, and Harris 5-14. And across the way, Bob Wagner in his 4th year, 26-16-1. Pacific won the toss. They elected to defer. The Rainbows will receive. Jason Schouten will kick off for Pacific. Jeff Seidner, number 26, and Larry Kahn Smith, number 86, deep for the Rainbows. Partly cloudy skies tonight. We could be visited by some mountain showers. Temperature at game time, very pleasant, 72 degrees. There's the kickoff, and it will go to Kahn Smith at the 6. To the 40. Smith almost broke it up the near sideline. Schouten, the fellow who kicked off, along with Gordon Jones there to trip him up. 34-yard return by number 86, Larry Kahn Smith. Garrett Gabriel coming on to lead the Rainbows now. Gabriel, 74 of 140 in passing, 1,082 yards, 6 touchdowns. First down for the Rainbows at their 40. And Frank Sean Abreu starts at running back. In motion, number 26 is Seidner. Gabriel the throw. Seidner, leaping catch at the 45-yard line of Pacific. So Jeff Seidner, that's his 27th reception of the year. He came in as the leading receiver for the Rainbows of Hawaii. Brian Miller, the cornerback, made the stop. 15-yard gain. First down for the Rainbows as they open very well. Branch 87 wide to the left. Slotted inside of Branch is Kahn Smith. And in motion goes Seidner as they overload the left side. Gabriel in trouble. They sack him. 14th sack of the year for Gabriel, making the sack for Pacific is Ron Papazian. And for Papazian, that's his 2nd sack of the year.
Well, Papazian is a true freshman, the only one starting for UOP. He runs like a deer, in the words of their defensive coordinator, John Neal. And he really can come off the edge. The Rainbows are going to have to make an effort to pick him up.
Loss of 9 on the play. Second down and 19 from their own 46. Just underway. Pacific against the Rainbows. Rainbows in their first possession. Pacific may be lining up offside now. They get back. Ball is given to Abreu. Surprise starter. Frank Shawn of Brew tonight at running back. These are the backs and receivers. Garrett Gabriel, Shawn Abreu starting tonight. Jeff Seidner and MacArthur in the slots. Derek Branch and Larry Conn-Smith, the wide receivers. That offensive line, Ching Chua Biliamu Violette and the Australian, Paul Manera, starting at tackle tonight. Third down for the Rainbows. Third down at 18 on their own 47-yard line. Gabriel with time. Over the middle, crossing pattern. Could be interference. Waiting for the flag. None. Dane MacArthur was the intended receiver. Brian Miller covering on the play. And in the opinion of the officials, that ball may not have been catchable because it was thrown behind him.
And I think that was the decision, Jim. There's no question that Miller has got a little bit of Dane MacArthur, but if MacArthur in his normal stride would have even been further away from that pass than he ended up. MacArthur's lobbying to no avail.
Brian Miller deep on fourth down. Winston Haynes in the punt, 35.5 in average. Good punt by Haynes. Good hang time. Miller catches it at the 2-yard line. Gets out to the 9.
Well, not good judgment by Brian Miller. Catching the ball back behind the 5-yard line. He lets it go. His team can start operating from the 20, and I'm sure his coach is going to have a word with him on the sideline about that.
50-yard punt by Haynes, his longest of the year, by the way, 52. First down for Pacific. Now, they have been prolific, to say the least, in the last 2 weeks. The quarterback, Kopp, has passed for over 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. And they come out right away with triple wide receivers to the right side. First down from the 9. Incomplete, intended for Oscar Meza. Quickly, the offense for Pacific. Troy Kopp is the quarterback. Anthony Williams, the running backs. The flankers are Darrell Hobbs, Jason Edwards, and the wide receivers, Oscar Meza and Aaron Turner. Turner is the leading receiver. The offensive line, Crandall, Boss, Lidmanovich, Bishop, and Paletto. Second down and 10 from the 9. Short drop. Pass is complete. Out to the 20, to the 21-yard line to Oscar Meza. Rainbow defense in that line, Lino Samana, David Tanuvasa, and Akili Calhoun. The linebackers, Lewis Randall, Mark Odom leading the team in sacks, Manley Williams and David Maeva. And the secondary, and they will be tested, Harper McLeod Pankey, 3 interceptions last week, and Terry Whitaker. First down for Pacific at the 21. Troy Kopp again out of Elijah. Double wide receiver, split wide to the left. In motion is Darrell Hobbs. That is complete to Edwards. Gets by Pankey. McLeod comes up and tackles him at the 28-yard line. Maeva and McLeod in on the tackle. Maeva from Kailua out of Kamehameha. And McLeod out of Inglewood, California, went to Los Angeles High School. Jason Edwards, you see there, 32 receptions, 296 yards. Edwards played last year against the Rainbows, and he had 11 catches for 120 yards. Second down and 2. In motion is Hobbs. All day. Throws almost picked off by McLeod. It was intended for Turner.
Well, Jim, that's going to be one of the key matchups of this game. Kim McLeod, the most experienced cornerback for the Rainbows. Aaron Turner is considered their best receiver. They're going to have McLeod covering Turner very closely. You see McLeod, top of your screen, good defensive position. He comes in, tries to cut in and make the pick. He's going to be very busy tonight.
Again, Pacific going without a huddle. They do this in this offense. Rainbows may have jumped offside. Then the ball was snapped. Akili Calhoun may have crossed into that zone. Tom Robinson is the official tonight out of the Western Athletic Conference. Just underway. Robinson is signaling to the phantom press box on the other side. From this side, Tom.
First and 10. Ball on the 34.
Defense. First down.
Maybe it's because it's homecoming. Maybe.
Well, Jim, on third down and short, you don't want to give Pacific anything. Don't have a great running attack. Third down and short, you give them the first down. You take all the stress away from their offensive front, away from their quarterback, and that's the one you're going to get them. You've got to stop them on third down.
Edwards and Melvin Johnson are wide to the far side. Turner to the near side. Hobbs now goes in motion. Quick throw. Edwards. He takes a lick from Maeva.
Well, David Maeva going to be crucial to the Rainbow Fortunes at the inside linebacker against the run and shoot. You're going to be very active against wide receivers. Maeva runs phenomenally. He comes up and puts the big stick on Edwards. And remember, Edwards, as you mentioned, had 11 catches against the Rainbows last season. Don't want to let him get started.
Triple wide receiver to the right side. Jesse Campbell is in at running back. Second down and 10. This is Campbell hit in the backfield. Lino Samana. And also Tanubasa there for the Rainbows. Big loss on the play. That will bring up third down.
Jim, Jesse Campbell is a true freshman. He's no stranger, though, to Aloha Stadium. He played at Morse High School, played against St. Louis High School on this very field, and he must have thought it was deja vu. He was shut down by St. Louis, and here he's going to meet different color shirts, but meets them just as quickly. Lino Samana beats his block easily, and then Ma'atano Vasa to gang up.
And when he left Morse, he was the all-time rusher. Third down and 13. Ball at the 31 for Pacific. 4 seconds in which to snap the ball. Pop, sideline, complete to Turner. Turner does not get the first down. He is way short, gets back to the 34-yard line as the Rainbows hem him in. Manley Williams leading the charge. And that will bring up fourth down for Pacific. They will have to punt it away. Jeff Seidner is deep for the Rainbows. And punting is Tony Nordbeck out of Riverside, California, averaging 39.4. 10 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first quarter, no score. Jim Leahy along with Bobby Curran from Aloha Stadium in Honolulu. Good punt. Seidner backpedaling, takes it on the 16. Trying to get to the wall. Out to the 30. And they bump him out at the 31-yard line. The Rainbows will set up shop there at the 31. Rainbows 3-3 on the year. Pacific 3-4. In the last 2 weeks, however, Pacific has defeated Fullerton State 67-37 and New Mexico State 62-24. 49-yard punt, 14-yard return by Seidner. You see a very youth-looking Walt Harris, who graduated from Pacific in 1968. Jamal Farmer has now gone in at running back for the Rainbows, and they come out in their spread formation. First down from the 31. Runs into a very angry Tiger defender, Lodge Prout, out of Lufkin, Texas, went to Santa Monica, JC number 57. He was there in a hurry. The defensive line, you see Harris, Prout, and Bankston. The linebackers, Papazian, Badger, Aragon, the leading tackler on the team, and Jerry DiMaggio. And the secondary, Jones, Reeves, Johnson, and Miller. Second down and 11. Triple wide receiver now for the Rainbows to the right. Seidner, MacArthur, and Con Smith. Selling the screen, throwing it badly, is Garrett Gabriel. Tried to get it to Farmer and almost threw it into the turf. Good pressure by Kyron Johnson. 5'10", 180, the junior out of Ventura, California. Another JC transfer to the Pacific program. He's from Ventura Junior College.
Well, Kyron Johnson leading Pacific in sacks. He's a big play guy. They count on him to come up with stops when they need them. I'm a little surprised to why he's gone to the air this much early. Pacific's big concern was the fullback, in particular Jamal Farmer.
Gabriel 1 for 3, 15 yards. His only completion on the opening play of the game to Seidner. Third down and 11. Gabriel, they blitz him, and they sack him. Second sack of the game for Pacific. And now, Bobby, that offensive line, that suspect offensive line with a lot of reserves in there and very inexperienced players because of injury, and you see that Gabriel is sacked for the second time.
Well, the Rainbow offensive line has had problems even in practice with the pass blocking. That's going to happen when you get young, inexperienced players. Garrett Gabriel, looking for a safety valve, couldn't find one.
Aragon credited with the sack, 14th sack of the year on Gabriel. Brian Miller deep for Pacific. And kicking is Winston Haynes. Miller will let it bounce. Takes a Rainbow bounce, and he short hops it at the 34. And then his ankle tackle as he gets back to the 40-yard line.
Joaquin Barnett doing a nice job of wrapping up Brian Miller. He is another explosive player, runs very well. Don't want to get him loose.
8:22 left in the first. 46-yard punt, 6-yard return. Ball out just short of the 40-yard line. Here comes Pacific. Very impressed with the way Pacific carries itself as a team. They operate without the huddle. Turner to the near side. And Hobbs to the far side. Brian Fisher is now in at running back. To Turner. That ball almost picked off. That was missed time. McLeod was right there one-on-one with Turner. Turner goes palms upwards to the coaching staff. And that will bring up second down and 10 for Pacific.
You see Troy Kopp having a word with his wide receiver, Turner. He felt that Turner should have broken that right to the sideline. Turner felt McLeod was so close on him that he wanted to streak and go to the post. The quarterback and the receiver have to read the defense the same way.
Well, you see Kopp audibleizing. Last week against New Mexico, 601 yards in total offense, 564 yards in passing. Short drop. That pass is complete to Meza. Out to the 46. Rainbows finally corral him there. That will bring up a big third down play. Third and about 4.
Oscar Meza, a guy last year who was a running back, hurt most of the season. They move him to wide receiver in the spring. They've been real happy with how he's adjusted to the Tiger stretch. Runs good routes, knows when to make sight adjustments. They're real happy and think he can be a major contributor before he's done as a Tiger.
Meza, 5 catches, 77 yards last week against New Mexico State. Third down and 4 from the 45. Another short drop. Turner. And McLeod has it at the 49, very close to the first down. We'll see where they give him forward progress. And if that's where they mark it, that is a first down for Pacific.
You take a look at this offensive line. They're standing up. Nobody puts the hand down in the three-point stance. Whenever Pacific does that, they're throwing. They're willing to tell you, hey, this is what we're going to do. The question is, can you stop us? Thus far, Pacific moving it very nicely.
Hawaii fans objecting to the very liberal spot on that last play. Nonetheless, first down for Pacific. Triple wide receiver to the far side. Hobbs, Edwards, and Meza. Turner is to the near side. And Campbell now is the running back. 13 seconds in which to snap the ball. Kopp very, very poised. Kopp running. Not far. Fumbles the ball. And Campbell falls on it as he tumbles out of bounds. Gavin Robinson really putting the pressure on him. Robertson came up and was there almost instantly.
Pacific likes to run some option. However, Hawaii sees it in practice every day. The linebackers run so well. Kopp probably should not have thrown that. It was Lino Samana made the hit. He was on him so quick, Kopp would have been better served to tuck it up and eat the yardage.
Kopp 5 for 9, 32 yards. Second down and 17. To throw. He may run. Samana has him by the jersey and pulls him down at the 48-yard line. Lano Samana out of Kalaheo High School. And Kailua, 6'1", 240, the junior. Now we'll bring up third down for Pacific. 6:55 left to play in the first quarter. No score.
Funny about Troy Kopp, Jim. He's got fairly good mobility, but rarely does it occur to him to run the football. That was a little unusual.
Kopp was injured early on. He was injured in the Tennessee game, missed 2 games. He has come back tentatively, and all of a sudden he's really caught fire. Great catch by Turner, leaping for the first down, and he'll have it at the 40-yard line of the Rainbows. Turner caught that ball and then bellied back very well.
Well, Aaron Turner is as dangerous after he catches the ball as he is before. A real crisp cut to the corner. You're going to see the defensive back slip. Turner, very smart, though, needed an extra 2 yards, knew it, hooked around and dove forward. Just gets the first down by the narrowest of margins.
First down for Pacific on the 40-yard line of the Rainbows. Brian Fisher now has gone in as the single setback. Triple wide receiver to the right. Top with time. Throws down the middle and overthrows Hobbs on the 21-yard line. Coverage there by Harper. Also Whitaker in the area. Second down and 10 from the 40.
Kopp feeling a little bit of pressure that time. They say about Troy Kopp that if you give him enough time, let him get comfortable, he can just pick your pocket. However, if you can get some early pressure on him, he becomes a more ordinary kind of quarterback. And that time, Ma'atanu Vasa were the possessor of the footsteps that were closing in on Troy Kopp.
Second down and 10 from the 40. Kopp, short pattern, throws out to Edwards, and he falls forward in the grasp of Tony Pankey. That'll bring up third down and 10. Very short gain, if any, on the play.
Well, Jason Edwards is not the guy that you want to throw the hitch pattern to because he's not as dangerous after he catches the football as is Aaron Turner or a Darryl Hobbs. Turner is the kind of guy that, or Edwards rather, is the kind of guy that if 10 yards away, you get it anywhere near his fingertips, he'll hold on to it.
Triple wide receivers to the short side of the field. Hobbs, Edwards, and Meza. Turner, lone receiver to the left. 5 seconds to snap the ball. And a sack by Odom. Penalty flag, however, has been thrown. Bob Wagner mentioned, Bobby, during the week he'd like the crowd to really get into this, especially when Pacific starts to audibilize.
Well, the nice part about it, Pacific likes to run their wide receivers way beyond the hash marks. They're probably 20 yards away from the quarterback. You get a little noise going, and those guys can't hear the count. They don't know what the play is. You're not going to keep the tackles from hearing it, but you can stop the receivers. That can really disrupt an opponent's offense.
Illegal procedure or false starts on the part of Pacific. Tom Robinson has turned himself around.
Dead ball, illegal procedure on the offense. Still third down.
Well, that's one of those penalties, Jim, that really serves Pacific well. The dead ball. Rainbows don't have the option, and Pacific much better off losing 5 instead of losing 17.
Third down and 15 from the 45-yard line of the Rainbows. Long down the middle, off of Meza, intercepted by Pankey. That's the 4th interception by Pankey in the last 2 weeks. He had 3 last week. He was the Western Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week. He picks off another off the tip, off of Meza.
Jim, this is a major football irony. Pankey was a free safety the first 5 games of the season. 4 games, didn't catch anything, never made a pick. Moves to strong safety, more known for run support, and here he closes in. Just a little tip drill that time and grabs number 4.
First down for the Rainbows as they get the first turnover of the game. They have it at their own 23-yard line. We'll call it the 24. Gabriel now audibilizing. Farmer, good hold, still churning across the 30 and very close to the first down.
Pacific's original challenge tonight is to stop the fullback dive. If Jamal Farmer starts to wreak havoc, that opens up all different facets of the Rainbow offense. They're very aware that they're going to have to do it. Take a look at Sean Shing, the center, against Richard Harris, the nose tackle. Now Harris slips. Peter Villamo conveniently falls on him. You see Shing at the bottom of your screen just faded out. He drove upfield. Good hole up front.
Enough for the first down. First down from the 34. Again, it is Farmer. Farmer angling off the left side, and Farmer for a short yardage this time before they pinch him. David Lumenquid, 6'2", 230, a freshman, and Richard Harris adjusting well on that play. Short gain, second down and 7 for the Rainbows of Hawaii, and the ball just at the 37-yard line. 4:24 left in the first quarter. No score. Hawaii against Pacific. Branch to the left and Conn Smith to the right. MacArthur and Seidner in the slot to the right side. Pitch. This is Seidner trying to get outside, and he goes nowhere. Good defensive penetration that time by Pacific, plugging a lot of holes, and the Rainbows just did not have that play materialize at all. Pat Aragon, 6'1" senior out of Reno, Nevada, number 42 there, to really plug it up for Pacific, and that will bring up 3rd down and 7. No gain on that last play.
Aragon, the leading tackler. You can tell the Pacific defensive unit's done their homework. They know they cannot let Jeff Seidner get to the perimeter and take off. That time they keep him from getting around the corner.
See if the Rainbows throw here. Triple wide receiver to the near side. Gabriel throws over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Seidner. Gabriel may have hurried that. Troy Reeves covering on the play. Gabriel appeared that if he would have held the ball for maybe another second, the pattern would have ripened a little bit. And he threw it wide of Seidner, deep over the middle. Winston Haynes in to punt it away for the Rainbows. Brian Miller back deep for Pacific. 3:18 left, first period, no score. Not far, but high. And it's finally down on the 39-yard line. It will be for Pacific when we come back. No score. Rainbows, Tigers. First period, Jim Leahy along with Bobby Kern. Glad to have you along with us tonight on this final NCAA game of this football Saturday. Pacific against the Rainbows, no score. It is complete to Hobbs. Hobbs wrestled down by Whitaker, short of the first down. Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Hobbs really did some dancing that time. He was in motion, then he stopped, then he started. All of a sudden he was clear on the linebacker.
Well, Darryl Hobbs also is a guy that knows this offense as well as anybody. He's a backup quarterback. They decided they needed his athletic prowess on the field. He shifted, really has a good chemistry with the quarterback top on knowing how to go on the routes.
Buddying up to each other, Hobbs and Edwards. Now Hobbs goes in motion. Cox throws long over the middle, slant pattern. Meza, right on him was Harper. And Meza unable to hold on. That was an excellent defensive play.
Jim, that was like a clinic. Kenny Harper closed to the ball, got the arm in. I mean, that ball was essentially bound for a completion. The ball was perfectly thrown. Only a real quick closing job by Kenny Harper prevented the completion.
Kopp 8 for 15, 1 interception, 51 yards so far in this game. Still young here in the first quarter. 2:24 left, no score. Another 3rd down play for Pacific. It is caught by Meza, but short of the first down. That will bring up 4th down. Ball was thrown behind him. Now they may say he did not have possession, and it will go as an incomplete pass. At any rate, it will be 4th down, and it will be an incomplete pass.
Tough pattern to understand, Jim, because what they're relying on is Meza's going to catch it and maybe get a few yards, but with a small cushion, you can't rely on that. You need a guy to make his break or hitch right out about the first down marker, not 3 yards short of it.
Tony Nordbeck into punt. Deep is Jeff Seidner. Very dangerous. A wobbler. Seidner comes up, takes it on the run at the 20. Seidner is horse-collared at the 28-yard line by Ron Papazian. So the Rainbows will have a 35-yard punt, 8-yard return. 1:58 left, first quarter, no score. Don Humphrey shaken up on that punt return by Jeff Seidner, 6'3", 250, the senior out of Palos Verdes Estates, California. And he comes off under his own power, and that's a good sign. Ball is pitched. This is MacArthur. Turns the corner, we have a penalty flag.
Well, Jim, I think I picked up a clip as MacArthur tried to come around the corner. We'll get the official word on it in just a moment. You're going to see Dane MacArthur with the ball. That's Larry Conn Smith, and there he is shoving the player in the back, tries to hold his hands up like, hey, ref, I didn't do it, but the official right on top of the play.
Against the offense, repeat first down.
So the ball is back to the 21-yard line. We spoke before. I said it was Don Humphrey hurt. It was not. It was Greg Bishop. So I correct myself there. Bishop, the offensive tackle, the starting offensive tackle, he appears to be okay. Humphrey not hurt at all. 1:51 left here in the first period. First down at 17 for the Rainbows. Ball is given to Farmer, and Farmer is in a forest of white shirts. Lodge Prout there to make the stop, number 57. So Farmer a very short gain, and that will bring up second down.
Lodge Prout is primarily a linebacker. The defensive front line was hurt badly by injuries for Pacific, so Prout said, okay, coach, I'll move up and give it a shot. He is in basically a new position, in a learning mode, playing well tonight.
Branch and Conn Smith are the wide receivers. MacArthur and Seidner on the wing. Gabriel looking, sideline pattern, off of Branch. And the ball skitters out of bounds. Gordon Jones covering on the play. The Rainbows tonight in their offense really been held down by Pacific, and by mistakes, and by penalties. Third down conversions. The Rainbows are 0 for 3 in this game. Pacific 2 for 5. Rainbows entered the game 36% in third down conversions, and Gabriel is still 1 for 5 and 15 yards. So it is third down and 16 from the 22. Gabriel ad-libbing, and only gets to the 24. That will bring up fourth down, and the Rainbows will have to punt it away. This defensive unit for Pacific playing very inspired, and the quarterback situation for the Rainbows with Gabriel in their passing, he has not been sharp. He has not been given a lot of time either.
And a real good job, you've got to say, by the Pacific front seven. They are getting enough heat to make it difficult for Gabriel.
Winston Haynes in to do the punting. Lemoy Tua, the long snapper. Brian Miller is deep. Miller backs up, takes it on the 39-yard line, and he is twirled to the turf by the green shirts. 37-yard punt, 1-yard return, 24 seconds left in the first quarter. No score. 4 seconds left in the first quarter. No score. Pacific and the Rainbows of Hawaii and Pacific doing what they have done the last 2 weeks. And that is pass on almost every down and do it without a huddle. First down from the 40. Kopp throws. That is complete. Excellent crossing pattern that time by Melvin Johnson.
Melvin Johnson, another junior college transfer, really has helped the program. Good size at 6'3", 200, runs the out. Plenty of time for Troy Kopp. That is the key. Kopp gets that kind of time, and you're going to see the names of Turner, Edwards, and Johnson having big nights.
That was enough for a first down. Again, Pacific is in Rainbow territory at the 48-yard line. Johnson switching now with Hobbs on the near side. Turner also on the near side, Edwards on the far side. And Kopp in no hurry. 6 seconds in which to snap the ball. He does. Shovel pass to Hobbs. Short game from the 48-yard line to about the 45. Haku Kahuano diagnosed that play. Kahuano from Honolulu, went to Marino High School, played for Pac-5. And that'll do it for the first quarter. A surprise, perhaps. No score between Pacific and the Rainbows of Hawaii. We began the second quarter, second down, and about 7.5. Ball from the 46-yard line of the Rainbows for Pacific. Kopp, short drop, throws to Hobbs, hit at the 44, and is able to carry Harper with him to the 41-yard line. That will bring up third down and 2.
Well, Darryl Hobbs, a slender guy, mentioned before, a very smart player, but strong. He's able to bring a much smaller Kenny Harper down, get some extra yards, and Pacific has a lot more options when they can be at 3rd and 3 rather than, say, 3rd and 6.
Kopp now 11 for 19 in passing. 3rd down, about 3. Hobbs in motion. Throw, and a high throw intended for Turner. And good pressure by the Rainbows that time, as Kopp had to throw in a hurry, had to release it before he really wanted to, and the ball skied on him. And that will bring a 4th down, short yardage. So Pacific players looking to the sideline. They are 3 and 4 on the season, and they are going to go on 4th down.
Pacific's defense has been playing well. They're in Rainbow territory. They probably figure, hey, why not? We can't get 3 yards when we need it.
And they've been successful. They are 5 for 7 in 4th down conversions this season. Kopp waiting, throwing, complete to Johnson, Melvin Johnson, ridden out of bounds by Pankey at the 30. That is more than enough for a 1st down.
Well, you're going to see a Troy Kopp with a lot of time right here. He's going to come back, and really, he's got all day to survey. He can let the pattern develop. Rainbow's expecting the short pattern. Johnson with enough room. Pankey closed quickly, but you give a guy that much time, he's playing catch.
1st down for Pacific. The ball inside the Rainbow 30 at the 28. Pacific still adjusting. And Troy Kopp in no hurry. This offense all of a sudden has clicked for them. Kopp again with time. Pump fake. Gets away from Manley Williams. Throws deep. It is complete to Hobbs on the 2-yard line. Hobbs had a step on Pankey.
Well, Pacific gets a great break because Kenny Harper was adjusting to the ball. He was in the area, but he fell down. Troy Kopp, very good under pressure. You may be able to see right there, Kenny Harper falls down. He was closing to the football. Pacific gets a break there.
So it is 1st down, goal to go. The ball at the 3-yard line. Brian Fisher in at running back now. And Kopp still audibilizing, going without that huddle. Hobbs joins Edwards on the right side. Kopp looking into the end zone. Throws. Touchdown, Pacific. And that's Hobbs. 17th touchdown pass. The 13th touchdown pass in the last 2 weeks. And for Hobbs, that's his 9th touchdown reception.
Hobbs coming in motion to the near side. Kopp again with enough time. He is going to throw the bullet. Knows this receiver very well. The little out, no Rainbow in the immediate vicinity.
Brian Hilborn in to try the extra point. He is 8 for 8 in extra points this season. Jason Edwards will hold. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 13 minutes and 13 seconds left in the 1st half, Pacific 7, Hawaii nothing. 3-yard touchdown pass from Kopp to Hobbs. Nothing Pacific. 3-yard touchdown pass from Troy Kopp. And Daryl Hobbs on the receiving end. Kopp is now 14 for 23. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 111 yards. Shelton kicking off. And it's taken by Heffernan. Heffernan weaves his way over the 30. And they finally corral him at the 31-yard line. Some shoving going on following the whistle. The scoring drive for Pacific, 7 plays, 60 yards, 2 minutes, 11 seconds in elapsed time. Hobbs in this game now, 5 receptions, 42 yards, and the touchdown. I want to remind everyone, at the conclusion of this game, Bobby and I will be selecting the GTE Hawaiian Tel Most Valuable Rainbow. The University of Hawaii's General Scholarship Fund will benefit in the name of that player from Hawaiian Tel. So Garrett Gabriel now finds his team behind. 1st down at the 32. He is 1 for 5 in passing. Gabriel lays it off, and a very short game to Dane MacArthur. That'll bring up 2nd and about 9. Dimitri Gazelas out of Galveston, Texas, number 18 there. And he was right with that play all the way.
Well, the idea on that sort of a throw is to get MacArthur the short pass with a little room to run, but read beautifully by that time. you can tell Pacific has really done their homework on the Rainbow offensive tendencies and schemes.
They say not even 2nd and 9, 2nd and 11. Ball is given to Farmer, and he goes nowhere. The difference in this game right now, Bobby, is the quality of the offensive line.
No, I think you hit it right on the head with that. You got to remember, you've got 4 guys on the out of 5 for the Rainbow offensive front that did not expect to be seeing much playing time. Due to injuries, they're in here. They'll try and do the best they can. Will it be enough? Farmer gets met by not 1 but 2 white jerseys. He had no place to go.
David Lumaquet leading the charge, number 99. 3rd down and 13 from the 30-yard line. Gabriel looking, throws long up the sideline. It is some bumping going on and interference. It was intended for Con Smith. Troy Reeves running with him. And Reeves may be called for the interference. He may have hindered Con Smith up the far sideline. That could be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down for the Rainbows of Hawaii.
Well, on a play like this, concerned by both coaching staffs because you're never sure. With Branch on the outside, you never know if it's not going to go against the Rainbows.
That's over here, Tom. That's it. Inadvertent flag. They say the pass was not catchable.
Well, we're going to get a better look at that. Well, hard to tell from that angle. It ball, when we saw it the first time, only looked a couple yards, and we'll see it here from the side. Now, how fast is Branch? That's only a step away. That's a real close, rather Larry Con Smith. That is only a real judgment call, not too far away from it.
It's almost revisionist rulemaking there. What is interference and what is not. That is very close. Tough call. Brian Miller deep for Pacific on 4th down. Boy, the Rainbows just have not put it together offensively so far in this game. Winston Haynes back, waiting for the snap from center, gets the kick away. Backing up for it is Miller. Miller stumbling and gets only to the 32-yard line. Lemoy Tua, the long snapper there to make the stop. 41-yard punt, only a 3-yard return. First down for Pacific. Time for this Bud fact. Tigers on top in the Big West. King, the backup quarterback, in passing efficiency. Kopp in total offense. Turner in receiving. In fact, Turner is 2nd in the nation, you see right there, in yards per game, 114.6. And there you see the team right on top of the Big West. This team offensively has caught fire. First down from the 32. They lead 7-0. Pacific does. 11:35 left in the first half. Pass to Turner. McLeod with a big cushion. Finally pushes them out of bounds at the 39-yard line. And now the secondary for the Rainbows starting to second-guess themselves, starting to be very tentative.
And you get a look at Mike Sewak, the offensive line coach, and as you mentioned, Rainbow's struggling in that area of the field. He's talking to his guys, going to come up with some schemes. He says, fellas, we got to do a better job if we're going to let Gabriel and our skill guys become factors tonight.
Anthony Williams in at the running back. Triple wide receivers to the near side. Edwards, Hobbs, and Johnson. Carrying the ball is Williams. Good hole up the middle to midfield and into Rainbow territory to the 49-yard line. Now the repertoire starts to come into play for Pacific. Not only are they able to throw the ball well, now they're starting to run it.
Now we're going to take a look. Watch. Now you see the three-point stance. Anytime you see the three-point stance, it means run. They tip it off. They don't care if you know. And Williams, a good, solid runner, not outstanding, but he can get the job done if you give him those kinds of holes.
First down from the 49 of the Rainbow. Hobbs in motion. Hobbs looking. Gets away from Manley Williams, but not away from Lino Samana. Samana chases him down at the 47-yard line, and that will bring up second down.
Good sign for the Rainbows, though, able to generate the kind of pressure. Even had Kopp gotten away from Samana and made 7 or 8 yards, you're taking them out of what they like to do best. Kopp does not want to throw on the dead run when he's being chased.
Second down and 8. The ball at the 47 of the Rainbows. Meza has gone back into the game. He's to the near side, Turner to the far side. Anthony Williams remains in at the running back position. Kopp looking, pump faking, now throws, incomplete. It was intended for Edwards. That time the Rainbows had pressure. Coverage in the secondary by Tony Pankia, Keely Calhoun, and Mark Odom. Good pressure that time on the quarterback, Kopp. That will bring up third down and 8 yards to go.
We got to see that ball thrown wide. That's what happens when a quarterback sees opposing jerseys flashing in front, behind him, starts to feel things on his blind side. You got to get some pressure on this man.
Kopp, 15 for 25, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception now. 10-16 left in the first half. Throws it into the ground in front of Meza. Harper covering. And again, the Rainbows able to get some pressure. Mark Odom. And that will bring up fourth down.
And, Jim, that's the first series that the Rainbows have gotten pressure 3 consecutive times. It leads to a 4th and 8 kind of situation. Rainbows, that's got to tip them off. We got to generate that every defensive series if we're going to keep Troy Kopp to human kind of numbers tonight.
That's what the Rainbow coaching staff is saying all week. Tony Nordbeck in to do the punting for Pacific. And Jeff Seidner's equal. Nordbeck angles for the sideline, keeping it away from Seidner. And they will line it up. One out of bounds at the 19. So an excellent punt that puts the Rainbows back within their own 20. That was a 28-yard punt, but it negated a return by Seidner as Pacific just kicks it away from it. So a very erudite game plan on the part of Pacific. And the Rainbows tonight, quite frankly, have really sputtered offensively. They have been unable to generate any kind of a drive. First down for the Bows from the 19. Garrett Gabriel, only 1 for 5 for 15 yards. That's it. Gabriel to Farmer, and Farmer gets nailed again. Richard Harris, the nose guard.
One of the great matchups here is Harris in the white jersey, Ching the center. Watch these guys do battle. That time, Ching fires out. Harris waits a half a second, slides in and makes the tackle. Harris is a guy that is only able to practice on average once a week because he's got bad knees. They swell up on him, but thus far tonight, he's done a nice job.
Second down and 10. No gain on that last play. Gabriel to throw. Gabriel in trouble. They sack him again. Ed Ulufanua from Carson, California. 5'11", 210, the senior. Ulufanua played a 5 game against the Rainbows last year.
So you're going to see pressure coming. You can't see 41. There he is back again. He is going to beat his block and get in front of Garrett Gabriel. You've got to give Gabriel more time than that. There's nothing anyone can do if you're in his face that quickly. Ulufanua got there quickly and fought the block.
Third down and 20 now from the 9-yard line for the Bows. Gabriel rolling, steps up, throws long, almost intercepted by Troy Reed. Off his hands, incomplete. Con Smith, the nearest player in the area. Rainbows sputter again.
Rainbows have to be a little disappointed by this point with the offensive production. There just hasn't been any. I'm not so surprised because it can happen that you're not crisp in your passing game. What I am surprised, though, is that the Rainbows haven't been able to run against Pacific.
Gabriel now 2 for 8, 14 yards. Farmer, 6 carries, only 12 yards. Haynes from the end zone tries to root it out of there. Miller backs up, takes it on the Rainbow 45-yard line. Dancing to the 42. And we have a penalty flag. 37-yard punt, 4-yard return. And we'll see what the penalty flag is for. But the Rainbows just have not been able to do anything against Pacific. And Pacific does give up points. I mean, this is not, you're not going against one of the leaders in defensive statistics. But the White Shirts have been tough tonight. 8:30 left to play in the first half. 7-0. Many thought going into this game it would be a very high-scoring game. We have not seen that. Here's Tom Robinson.
Clipping on the receivers, 15 yards in the first down.
Well, Pacific's field position still good, though not as excellent as it would have been without the penalty. I think the surprise, Jim, is not that Pacific's got a touchdown. You expect them to be able to score. They're almost like San Diego State in that way. We'll go ahead and get a bunch of points, and we just hope to get one more than you do. But the surprise has been the Rainbows unable to function against the Tiger defense.
First down for the Tigers, following that 15-yard penalty for clipping. First down at their 43. Throws, but it's tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was intended for Jason Edwards. Troy Kopp, the sophomore's school ranking. He is first in completions, second in touchdown passes, third in passing yardage. You see the others, completions, fifth in attempts, and fifth in total offense. I mean, they project him to have a phenomenal season. And remember, he has played only 5 games. He missed 2 games because of the injury when he started the game against Tennessee. He leads here 7-0. Second down and 10 from their own 43. Kopp to throw, in trouble, and they get it.
Rainbows generating much better pressure. It started on the last series, starting to come a little wider around the edges. Rainbows have a couple of guys that can come off the edge. You're going to see it from what Kopp is seeing. He all of a sudden feels pressure from the outside. Mark Odom, one of the players there, David Tanuvasa. You get enough guys around you, and suddenly you get jittery feet. You stop looking at receivers and start thinking about how can I escape with my head intact.
Third down, 16. Loss from the 43 back to the 37-yard line. Johnson, Hobbs, and Edwards. And a triumvirate of receivers to the near side. Turner to the far side. Hobbs looking at Turner. Checks off. Throws over the middle. Complete to Edwards at the 45-yard line of the Rainbows. That is enough for a first down. And that is excellent quarterbacking.
Good patience by Troy Kopp. And he held on in spite of the fact that Mark Odom was coming backside. He waited till the patterns developed. What's most impressive is this is a quarterback that's seen pressure the last couple of series. Now he waits, he takes the big hit, and he's got his possession receiver right over the middle.
So first down for Pacific on the Rainbow 43-yard line. Hobbs and Turner to the far side. Johnson and Edwards to the near side. Johnson calls a timeout. So some confusion from the bench and from the quarterback going without the huddle. 7:10 left in the first half. 7-0 Pacific. Time Supermarket. Kids in sports. If you know someone who is a most valuable volunteer, go to any Time Supermarket for an official entry blank on Watch K&L Sports to see if your volunteer has won a weekly prize. And all entries get a chance to win the grand prize, a trip for 2 to Disney World in Florida. First down. Throw is complete to Johnson. Pankey has him. Pankey still has him. Johnson still has a hold of the ball. But they say forward progress was stopped.
You can tell that Troy Kopp is feeling very confident now. He's not necessarily going with primary receivers. He's letting routes develop. He's watching receivers make adjustments, and he's got the poise and the patience to put the ball in their hands. If he continues to do that and can avoid pressure, he's going to be a very tough guy to beat.
Second down and 3. Ball at the Rainbow 36-yard line. Complete to Edwards, one-on-one with Harper, inside the 30 to the 25. First down Pacific.
Well, again, nothing fancy. Troy Kopp with the very short drop. He throws the out, rainbow corners. In this case, Kenny Harper giving up a pretty good-sized cushion. And it's 7, 8, 9 a crack. Pacific continues to march it. and what appears almost inexorably.
There you see the Tigers have won back-to-back games for the first time since 1986. If they win tonight, it will be the first time they have been able to win 3 games in a row since 1978. 6:04 left to play in the first half. First down for Pacific on the 25-yard line of the Rainbows. Kopp to throw again. Lofts it up for Turner and throws it wide. Covering was McLeod. Pankey also in the area. Second down and 10. And what Pacific also will do, okay, that one doesn't work. We'll come back with something else on this particular play.
Well, they want to go with Aaron Turner as much as possible because he can do so much damage after he catches the pass. Kim McLeod thus far has held Turner reasonably in check.
Second down and 10 from the 25. Jesse Campbell in at running back now for Pacific. Much time left in which to snap the ball. Kopp leaping only to the line of scrimmage. Rainbows that time did a little adjusting of their own, a little last-minute fine-tuning in the defensive alignment. Ma'a Tanubasa credited with the stop, number 96. Ma'a from Wahiawa went to Mililani High School. No relation, by the way, to David Tanubasa. David from Waipahu. There you see Ma'a. Third down and 10 from the 25. Seconds in which to snap the ball. Kopp throws. Turner there. He has it. Did he have forward progress for the first down? I do not believe so. He's about a half-yard short. But you talk about a timing pattern. That was almost perfect. Kim McLeod making the stop. That will bring up fourth down.
Aaron Turner, the receiver, be working against Kim McLeod. McLeod, with respect, give him the cushion. He's going to break it out. And you're right. Kopp's got to throw that ball before the break is made. McLeod, aware of the first down marker, tries to keep Turner short.
And here comes Pacific on fourth down. They are 6 for 8 on the season. They are 1 for 1 tonight. Anthony Williams in at the running back. But Pacific really doesn't run the ball. I mean, they are satisfied with throwing it. Fourth down, a half yard. Ball is given up the middle to Williams, and Williams gets the first down.
Well, Pacific doesn't get much, but they do get enough. Again, they tip off the play. Everybody goes to the three-point stance. It's almost, you could almost view it as a sort of offensive arrogance. Pacific saying, hey, we don't mind if you know what we're going to do. We think we've got the ability to get it done against you. Thus far, they have been.
Not only that, the defense still has to think that perhaps it is a decoy. And they had a fine example of the Tiger stretch that time. Pacific again spreading the field. First down from the 15-yard line. Kopp to throw. Complete to Johnson. Whitaker has a hold of him. Johnson inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Another factor tonight, you've mentioned it before, Bobby, but it's becoming more and more apparent, is that when the receivers, Johnson, Hobbs, Meza, Turner, Edwards, when they receive the ball, they run with it very well. And the Rainbows, the defenders have been holding on. They've been dragging defenders with them for extra yardage.
Well, you can see that a lot of their passing yardage is actually not ball in flight, but it's receiver with it tucked under.
So Pacific, second down and 5 from the 10. Kopp chased out of the pocket, throws. It is complete for a very short gain to the 9-yard line to Melvin Johnson from Costa Mesa, California. Went to Orange Coast Junior College. And that will bring up third down.
Well, Pacific was very pleased to get Melvin Johnson. He was a wide receiver that everybody who follows the junior college circuit knew about. Had the size and the good speed. He wanted to go to a place where they threw the ball, and I think with Mr. Kopp at QB, he picked the right place.
Third down and 4. First down is just short of the 5. Ball on the 9-yard line. Pacific 3 for 9 in third down conversions, and now Kopp wants to call a timeout. That's timeout number 2 here in the 3:16 left. 7-0 Pacific, and Pacific with a big third down play when we come back. Pacific 3:16 left to play in the first half. Kopp 21 of 34 now, 172 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Johnson, number 1, 5 for 38. Edwards, number 10, 4 for 38. Hobbs, number 12, 5 for 42. Turner, 5 for 37. So Kopp has really spread the wealth. 10 seconds in which to snap the ball, and Kopp very content to audibilize at the line of scrimmage. Rolling. Grabbed as he throws, and throws it out of bounds. Lino Samana. Boy, what an excellent defensive play by Lino Samana. Fighting off the block, still making penetration and getting a hold of the quarterback.
Well, they know Kopp likes to roll right to the outside shoulder of the front side tackle. And he tries to come around. Samana knows that. I was in the defensive room yesterday when they were watching some game film. He had pointed that out. He has really put his lessons to work here.
Jason Edwards to hold. Brian Helborn will try a 26-yard field goal. Slight angle from the right side. And he puts it up and through. It is now 10-0 in favor of Pacific. Helborn now 3 for 3 in field goals on the season. 3:06 left. It is now 10-0 Pacific. Bob Wagner walking the sidelines across the way in front of his Chargers. Away trailing now by a score of 10-0. Kickoff by Schouten is again picked up by Heffernan on the 22-yard line, and Heffernan gets it out to about the 28. And comes squirting out of the pile and almost upsets one of the officials. It's Joe Ornelas. 7-yard return. Garrett Gabriel continues with 2 minutes and 59 seconds left. And the Rainbow offensive line tonight is going to be shouted at halftime, and they are going to be chastised for the way they played in this first half. They just have not been able to open any holes. Credit Pacific. Gabriel to throw. Shovel pass. It's on the turf. It's recovered by Guy Bonoza. Boy, the execution just is not there. They are not crisp at all.
No, you've got that right, Jim. There just hasn't been any of that in-sync kind of play that you really need to run this kind of an offense in particular. Rainbows don't have it. The shovel pass develops in front of Gabriel. Not a good pitch, just not near the running back. It's an incomplete forward pass. They'll have to try it again on 2nd and 10.
Richard Stevenson has come in at running back now for the Rainbows. Number 33 in motion is MacArthur. Gabriel throws. It is complete to Seidner. Seidner is just thrown to the turf by Dimitri Gazela. Boy, it just seems that Pacific has taken a look at the Rainbow game plan before tonight's game, and they've memorized it.
You see Jeff Seidner, he's just going to take a little three-stepper. The idea of this pass is to get it in Seidner's hands and let him work one-on-one. Gazela's very smart. Comes up, takes away the cushion, doesn't give Seidner a chance to use his moves.
3rd down for the Rainbows. 3rd and 10 from the 29. And Gabriel calls a timeout. 2:12 left. And so you have a first half in which the Rainbows have really struggled offensively. That offensive line we mentioned in the open, how very inexperienced they are, how they really have had to come together because of the injuries. And tonight against Pacific, a team that has bloomed, that sometimes happens, that in the middle of a season, all of a sudden an offense will gel, as has happened with Pacific. It has paid huge dividends. I mean, it has been a bumper crop the last 2 weeks. And granted, coming into this game, there were those naysayers who said, well, Pacific performed against Fullerton and against New Mexico State down at the bottom of Division I as far as statistics are concerned. They have come in here in the first half tonight, and they have throttled the Rainbows.
They really have. And, Jim, I think another thing that happens when you're talking about teams developing that confidence, the defense for Pacific, which had been porous, they get the pride feeling like if the offensive guys are doing it, we got to start doing our share. They've risen up and played extremely well thus far tonight.
Gabriel only 3 for 10 and 14 yards. See Bob Wagner jogging down to meet with Gabriel on the sidelines. The rushing for the Rainbows, the rushing. You see Kopp and Gabriel, 173 yards for Kopp. Gabriel has yet to get to 20. The Rainbows have rushed for -2 yards. Gabriel in trouble. They sack him again. That's the 4th time in this game. Kyron Johnson, number 23, 5'10" junior from Ventura, California, second in team tackles, and that was his 5th sack.
You get the corner blitz. Gabriel doesn't sense it till it's too late. Almost gets away from Johnson. Johnson, with good arm strength, manages to keep one arm on him, and then it was white shirt city. Gabriel never had a chance.
Winston Haynes from his own end zone again. A wobbler. Brian Miller lets it bounce, and the football finally is down. Gabriel has been sacked 4 times in this game for 44 yards. And the Rainbow offense just has, it's been like almost trying to start a car with a battery that just won't turn over. They have not been able to really get anything going.
Well, they're going to have to get that jalopy hot-wired at halftime, and now some pressure on the defense. You're down 10-0. 1:19, which is what's on the clock, is a plethora of time for Pacific. They got the tools to get it done, and 2-minute offense is their basic offense.
1:19 left to play in the first half. Very frustrated Garrett Gabriel on the sideline. Troy Kopp has done the job again in this first half. Kopp will run, but not far, from the 42 to the 39. Gain of 3. Second down and 7. Jerry Winfrey there to make the stop, number 90. And Pacific uses their final timeout. So Pacific coming in 3-4 on the season. To show you how this team has come around, they lost at Tennessee 55-7. They were able to beat Sacramento State 41-33. They lost to San Jose State 28-14. They lost at Long Beach State 28-7. They lost at UNLV 37-28. And then all of a sudden they came around. They beat Fullerton State 67-37 and New Mexico State 62-24. Rainbow coaching staff, that's Kanani Souza there, and Kanani Souza is not pleased.
Well, I think none of the coaches are going to be particularly pleased. There really is not even a unit, as you break it down into positions, that has played well thus far tonight. Rainbows need a much better effort all the way around. I think if you had to pick one group that's going to have to raise it a couple of notches, that's the O-line.
Second down, 8 yards to go. Ball on the Rainbow 40-yard line. 1:07 left to play in the first half. 10-0 Pacific. Kopp with time. Throws complete to Melvin Johnson, short of the first down. Johnson able to take it to the 33-yard line, and now they say incomplete. He didn't have possession. At least one of the officials said that. And they'll bring it back.
An official on the sideline got a good view of the play. Probably the ball touched through his hands and got to the carpet before he could gather it. Doesn't hurt Pacific. Stops the clock. Lets Kopp take his time now, audibleizing.
And he does have time because they don't go back into the huddle, so he can pretty much give speeches. Third down, 7. Throws short of the first down. It is complete on the 34-yard line to Melvin Johnson. Jerry Winfrey made the stop for the Rainbows. And Mark Odom just struggling off the field. So the Rainbows will have to replace him. Fourth down. Fourth down is like any other down. It's nothing special to Pacific. They're going to go again. They're 2 for 2 on fourth down. Fourth down and 3. 54 seconds left in the first half. 7 seconds left in which to snap the ball. Fourth down. Complete to Edwards. 30, 29, first down for Pacific. And a great job of just going to the sidelines and stepping out of bounds to stop the clock with 47 seconds left. However, he didn't have to do it because the clock would have stopped the move to change. They are 3 for 3 on fourth down conversions, and that is making a statement.
That tells us they have tremendous confidence in their offense, and also tells us their players are executing with near perfect ability thus far.
Fisher back in at running back now. Cobb to throw. Hit as he does, it is incomplete. In the area was Winfrey and Manley Williams. Good pressure that time, along with Akili Calhoun. Winfrey in the secondary, along with Pankey.
Well, Troy Kopp has been successful at avoiding pressure. Has to move his feet now to swing around. You're going to see the spin move by Manley Williams. Just puts the little spin on it, comes on, and brings Kopp down. That ball was errant enough that if a rainbow was in the area, could have been a pick.
2nd down and 10 from the 30. Kopp all day. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Open was Hobbs. Hobbs was open. And the ball was thrown behind him.
Well, that a rarity. That was perhaps the first poorly thrown ball by Troy Kopp thus far tonight. He had plenty of time, had the open receiver. You won't see that happen to him. Pacific would like to get at least another 5 yards. They're at the very outer edges of Brian Hilborn's field goal range right now.
36 seconds left in the first half. Pacific has brought this passing attack that has just caught fire in the last 2 weeks. And so far they have held sway over the Birds. 3rd down, Kopp throws. It is incomplete. It was intended for Turner and thrown high. That time, the safety blitz, Pankey and Odom, who has returned to the lineup. That will bring up 4th down. 31 seconds left in the first half. And in to try a long field goal is Brian Hilborn. He is 3 for 3. His longest field goal, by the way, 37 yards. He is a walk-on, and one of the coaches coming back from lunch looked on the field, and he was kicking field goals, and they signed him up. That one will not get there. That was a long one, 52-yarder. And that's the first time that he has missed this season since taking over the field goal chores for the Tigers. So, one positive note for the Rainbow defense. They were able to bend but not break that time. They still have 25 seconds. The Rainbows have been befuddled offensively in this game. They have not been able to generate any consistency. And so with 25 seconds left in the first half, they will try to leave trailing, but leave on a positive note. Gabriel has been sacked 4 times for 44 yards. In motion is MacArthur. Gabriel to throw. Rolling, looking, throwing. Branch has it at the 45. Branch down at the 43. Boy, nice catch by Branch. Excellent catch.
Branch on the run, just turned over his shoulder. Garrett Gabriel that time had a few seconds to line up his receiver, and you can see Gabriel's going to be able to find the mark if the offensive line will give him time.
17 seconds left in the half. The Rainbows now have called a timeout. If they are going to do something positive, of course, one thing is to throw it into the end zone for the touchdown, and they leave with a mile-high feeling here. But to get into field goal position, to get the pass down and a completion around the 20-yard line, they have to get the field goal unit onto the field and all of that. That's also a possibility. But the Rainbows have got to do something because they just have been outplayed by Pacific here in this first half. And in front of the homecoming crowd, this is the homecoming game for the Rainbows, 82nd year of playing football. And they would not like to lose their homecoming game, but you think back to losing your homecoming game.
Well, it also
sinking feeling.
It also tells you usually pick your homecoming opponent as one that you think that you'll have a pretty good chance of beating. Whenever you see a team upset by their homecoming opponent, you know that it didn't go the way the schedule maker wanted.
First down for the Rainbows on the 43-yard line of Pacific. 17 seconds left to play in the first half. Seidner in motion. Gabriel rolling. Gabriel in trouble. Gabriel trying to run. He's at the 40, 35, 31-yard line. That's enough for a first down. 9 seconds left, and the Rainbows line up.
Good job by Gabriel. Didn't wait for trouble to happen. Got out of it, grabbed the first down. He's got to do a little more of that.
9 seconds left. They start the clock again. Gabriel throws it into the turf, and that stops it with 6 seconds left.
Well, Jim, this would be about a 47-yard field goal. Zarin Khan can reach it from there.
Gabriel with 6 seconds left going to the side, and he will talk with Bob Wagner. Rainbows just have not, boy, coming off a real solid performance last week against Fullerton. That offensive line has really struggled here in this first half. At one point in the first half, the Rainbows were minus yardage in rushing. Now they've been able to move the ball just outside the Pacific 30-yard line, and the Rainbows are going to go for it with 6 seconds left. No field goal here. Gabriel throws. It is complete, and stepping out of bounds is Con Smith. 2 seconds left. Here comes the field goal, too.
It worked out to be a good play. Coach Wagner obviously thinking, hey, we want to give Zarin Khan an even better shot. Throws the quick out to the sideline. If it's incomplete, no problem. You try it from 47. Now you've got it down to 41.
Walter Santiago will hold. Zarin Khan, 3 for 6 this season. Longest field goal, 42. There is the kick. It is good. So the Rainbows end the first half on a positive note. And the green shirts can go to the locker room knowing that, yes, they do trail, but instead of 10-0, they're on the scoreboard as they leave trailing in the first half to Pacific 10-3. Rainbows off away by a score of 3. And Troy Kopp for Pacific, 23 of 41, 182 yards and 1 touchdown. This is the touchdown throw and the only touchdown of the game. Kopp does a fine job of looking to the left, then coming back and hitting Hobbs, Darrell Hobbs, in the end zone for the touchdown. It was a first half played by Pacific, and Pacific really dominated. They had 50 offensive plays to only 27 for the Rainbows.
Well, Pacific has come out looking crisp. They're doing what they do best. Their offensive line giving Troy Kopp time. As we have just pointed out, he is very good looking off receivers, doesn't tip his hand, in spite of the fact that his offensive line lets you know what's coming up. Rainbows, on the other hand, have had a lot of difficulties offensively.
Oh, difficulties. 4 sacks on Gabriel, minus 44 yards in that department. And the Rainbows really have not been able to get anything going offensively at all. Here's one of the sacks. Gabriel in trouble, trying to get out of it, but succumbing to the pressure. It's that offensive line. If it was a battle of offensive lines, Pacific would dominate in that area too. The Rainbows offensive line just has not been able to perform the way they did last week.
Well, I wouldn't want to be a Rainbow offensive lineman and be in halftime right now. They are going to be taking a licking from the coaches. I think just this simply, the offensive line has to perform much, much better for the Rainbows to get back in this game. And remember, the Rainbows were nearly 3 touchdown favorites coming into this. They have not performed up to par. The last drive, though, maybe a little something positive to take in at halftime.
Good point. Good point. The Rainbows getting that 41-yard field goal from Zarin Khan to at least get on the board, take some momentum with them, and at halftime. Much more to come when we return. Time at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, and Pacific leading the Rainbows by a score of 10-3. One of the positive notes for the Rainbows coming into this game was their defensive secondary and defensive back Tony Pankey. Pankey had 3 interceptions last week against Cal State Fullerton, and he was awarded by the Western Athletic Conference the Defensive Player of the Week award. He's happy. Against the Titans of Cal State Fullerton, Tony Pankey made 3 interceptions in the first half, matching the UH single-game record shared by Hal Stringer, Gene Tokuhama, and Joe Kaulukukui.
I really remember all of them. The first one was, I was playing the zone coverage, and I just read the quarterback eyes, and I threw the ball, and I just broke on it and intercepted down. The second one was we were playing a man coverage, and the receiver broke on a 5-yard out, and I looked back to the ball, and it was being thrown short and behind the receiver. And so I came back for it, and it was thrown really low, and so I just fell on it. And the last one, I think, was the best one, because we were playing a prevent defense, and I was playing like 5 yards in front of the end zone, and the quarterback threw a Hail Mary pass, and it came right to me, and I just picked that ball off, and I started running.
In addition to the Player of the Week selection, Pankey was honored by the WAC with a first-team selection to the 1990 All-Academic Team. The junior from Kaneohe is majoring in business and holds a 3.3 grade point average. How does Tony do it?
You got to learn how to budget your time. You got to take advantage of every time that you have. Football takes a lot of your time, so whatever time that you have, you got to put it all into studying. No time for playing around.
Last year, Pankey transferred to the University of Hawaii from Linfield College, where he played football for 2 seasons. After redshirting as a Rainbow in '89, Tony is finally where he wants to be.
When I was a little kid, I used to watch the games on TV. I used to go to the games with my father, and it's been a dream of me. I always wanted to play for the Rainbows, And another reason why I wanted to come back is because I wanted to challenge, the level of ball up there is not as advanced as down here, so, I wanted to challenge.
Tony has proven himself in all 4 positions in the secondary. He played the corner spot in the spring, then at free safety during the first 5 games of the season, and finally, last week at strong safety.
One thing, the Lord blessed him with good athletic ability, and he uses it real well. He also is very, very intelligent. So he picks up the defense real well.
The future looks bright for Tony Pankey. He finishes his college football career in 1991, and then he's planning to make good use of his college education.
I'm going into business right now, and that's the kind of field that I like. I like to work with numbers, and hopefully when I get out of school, I can get a job that deals with numbers.
And there was a positive note tonight for Tony Pankey. With an interception in the first half against Pacific, he now has 4 interceptions over the last 2 games. We'll take a break and be back with much more. Tony Roma's in Hawaii, celebrating their 10th anniversary by offering their famous chicken and ribs combo for only $9.95 now until November 4. There you see the rushing yards for the Rainbows, -8 in the first half. Pacific has only 5, but in passing yards, Pacific with 183 and the Rainbows with 50. And the time of possession, 17:21 for the Tigers, 12:39 for the Rainbows. 10-3 as we begin the second half. Kicking off is Sal Velasco. Daryl Hobbs and Jesse Campbell are deep, and it will go to Jesse Campbell. Campbell hemmed in on the sideline, and he is out in the vicinity of the 25-yard line.
Well, another challenge here for the Rainbow defense. They're going to have to give the offense the ball, get it in decent field position. You want a couple of series to get Pacific to go 1-2-3 punt. It'll be interesting to see if the Rainbow's corners may come up a little closer in the second half and take away that cushion.
At this rate, by projection, Troy Kopp will throw 80 passes. 80. 23 for 41. 1 touchdown, 183 yards in the first half. First down from the 27-yard line. Kopp throws as he's hit. It is complete. What a catch. Daryl Hobbs going up and fighting the battle with Tony Pankey. Hobbs coming down with the reception.
Daryl Hobbs a little taller. He makes it. Here's what Pacific did with the football in the first half. The first 3 actually a little slow, but you can see those blue lines. They were able to move the ball, get a couple first downs, only came away, though, with 10 points.
Look at the field position. They played almost the entire first half in Rainbow territory. First down. Excellent catch by Hobbs. Ball just short of the 45-yard line. Kopp back to throw. It is complete to Meza, and Meza able to struggle to the Rainbow 45-yard line. That should be enough for a first down. So Pacific comes out, and they pick up right where they left off. It is not Meza, it is Edwards on that reception.
Jim, what you'll notice here, this is a 3-yard completion. 3 yards forward when the ball is caught. The other 7 yards in the first down come with Jason Edwards bringing the ball upfield. He's a good runner, as are all the Pacific wide receivers.
Hobbs and Edwards to the right. Melvin Johnson and Turner to the left. Johnson on the wing. And Fisher is the setback. First down at the Rainbow 45. Kopp eludes trouble, now throws. It is almost picked off by Harper. Harper stepping in front of Edwards at the Rainbow 35-yard line. Second down and 10 for Pacific.
Well, Troy Kopp had to wait for the play developed. As he did, Rainbows began to get some pressure. And I think what you're seeing, Kenny Harper, Kim McLeod, the corners, aren't going to be giving up quite as much cushion. They've got to take it away. We've very rarely seen Pacific try to throw the home run ball. They're content with the short passes and then see what the guys can do running the football.
Just underway in the second half. 10-3 Pacific. Second down and 10 for the Rainbow 45. Kopp, no pressure. Lost it long for Hobbs, but lost it out of bounds. Hobbs ends up in the Rainbow cheering section over there.
Well, you take a look at Mark Odom, not been involved in any tackles, not by coincidence. Pacific very aware of Mark Odom. They felt they had to keep him out of the plays. So far, they've been able to do that.
Third down and 10. Kopp audibilizing. 7 seconds in which to snap the ball, so he has a lot of time. Looking left, and they get him. Tony Pankey on the blitz.
Well, Jim, that's a risky play when you're going to take a quarterback like Troy Kopp. And now Kopp's challenge, he's got to throw hot. It's what you do when you sense pressure. Pankey coming in, and he's going to make that stop. Kopp never had a chance.
I guess that's the defensive motto, stop Kopp. Jeff Seidner deep for the Rainbow, standing at the 10-yard line. Tony Nordbeck to punt, and just gets it away. And there was contact, but no flag. The ball is fumbled by Seidner, and it goes out of bounds. There was contact with the punter. We were watching Tom Robinson for the moment, and he did not throw the flag. And then Seidner, the ball popped loose, but it went out of bounds. 30-yard punt, 7-yard return. The Rainbows will begin at the 26 or 27.
Here is Nordbeck, makes a good catch. Rainbows get very close. They do kind of run into him. Actually, I'm not sure anybody touched him. That looked like an Academy Award attempt by Mr. Nordbeck. I'm not so sure anybody actually physically laid a hand on him.
Good call. Good call by Robinson. First down for the Rainbows at their own 27-yard line. Jamal Farmer, the single setback. Kept by Gabriel, turns the corner, gets to the 30. We have a penalty flag. Kyron Johnson there to make the stop, number 23. Johnson from the safety position. We have offside against Pacific.
Pacific was doing a lot of jumping around defensively. Sometimes when you get the linebackers up, they're not accustomed to being that close to the line of scrimmage. A little over anxious. They'll try to read Gabriel's snap count.
Repeat first down.
So first down and 5 now for Hawaii. 13:08 left to play, and the Rainbows trail 10-3. Branch and Con Smith are wide to the right. MacArthur and Seidner on the wing. Ball is again pitched to Seidner. He is at the 40, to the 45. Finally wrestled out of bounds. Ooh, that almost came off. The wheels almost came off on that play.
Well, I think the Rainbows are going to have to get a little bit going with the triple option to establish some confidence. Also to take Pacific out of that little quick drop in the passing defense. Here is Seidner. Look at the moves that Jeff Seidner has. He is so shifty. There's Rainbows that are faster than he is, but nobody that can get laterally 3 steps any quicker.
Another first down for the Rainbows, and for the first time, Rainbows here in the second half putting together some consistency. Ball given to Farmer, leaping into the secondary. The Rainbows' only real yardage was gained in the final seconds of the first half, culminating on a 41-yard field goal by Zarin Khan. Into the play of 2 by Farmer, gets it out to the 47-yard line of the Bow. Second down and 8. Branch to the left, Con Smith, and Dane MacArthur to the right. On the wing to the right is Seidner. Gabriel rolling. Throws long. He wants MacArthur batted away. And coming up with the ball, number 18, Dimitri Gazelas. And Gazelas did not have possession. Otherwise, he would have picked it off. Excellent defensive play by Dimitri Gazelas, 5'10" freshman from Galveston, Texas.
Rainbows were able to get a touchdown against Fullerton with this same pattern, but Gazelas closed quickly. The ball underthrown just a tad, and Gazelas close enough to be able to break it up.
Rainbows on third down conversions tonight, 0 for 8. Third down here. They have to go to the 45 of Pacific. Gabriel, who's been sacked 4 times, throws long up the sideline. It is complete at the 11-yard line to Con Smith. We have a penalty flag. Con Smith did an excellent job of adjusting to the ball, but did he push off? Gordon Jones was covering on the play.
Well, that'll be the question. Obviously some contact. Con Smith looking back at the ball, the defense unable to.
Interference on Pacific.
And actually the defender trying to keep Con Smith from cutting back to the football. You're right, Jim. Larry Con Smith sort of came alive against Fullerton, had caught 3 passes, comes in today and does a much better job.
Interference. The penalty's refused. First down.
So that catch by Con Smith puts the Rainbows in scoring territory. They have it, and they will place it down on the 12-yard line, or just inside the 12, and it will be first down for the Rainbows. First big gainer for the Rainbows offensively through the air. Branch and Con Smith to the far side. Gabriel gives it up the middle to Farmer. Somebody moves in that offensive line. That will cost the Rainbows 5. False start.
Well, the mental mistakes, the Rainbows just cannot afford to make them. I think one of the interesting things that's happening now is the offensive line getting a little bit of confidence. They're able to give some
procedure on the offense. Will repeat first down.
Able to give some time to Garrett Gabriel. He's shown he can get to the ball to the receivers. They're making the adjustments, a little bit of triple option mixed in. What you don't want to do is look at 1st and 15.
That's the first time, by the way, that the Rainbows able to convert on third down. So now the ball is back to the 16.5-yard line. It is 1st and 15 for the Bows. Pacific continues to jump around defensively. Gabriel hit outside the 20 at the 22. And no one was able to touch Darren Brady. Brady, number 44, the junior out of Los Angeles. He came right up the middle.
Well, Darren Brady used to play on the defensive, in the linebacking core, now moved up to defensive lineman. He's got a terrible shoulder, can't practice at all. They told him either you can sit out the rest of your career or play with pain. And he says, Coach, my senior year, I need a chance.
Second down at 19. That's the 5th sack on Gabriel in this game. Gabriel rolling. Throws for the end zone. Seidner cannot hold on. It is off his fingertips. He had a step on Dimitri Gazelas.
Well, we have talked many times about Jeff Seidner's quickness. He's on the inside, running the route. He's going to make the fake move to the middle, now outside. And you're right, Jim, he did have the step. This ball, well thrown, actually, by Gabriel, who was thrown across his body on the run. Just a tad out of reach.
So the Rainbows have third down at the 20-yard line. Branch to the left. Seidner in the slot to the left. On the wing to the left is MacArthur. And Con Smith is to the right. Big play here for the Rainbows. They trail 10-3. Gabriel back to pass. Lofts it for the end zone. Con Smith! What a catch! Touchdown! Penalty flag.
Tremendous effort by Larry Con Smith to fight off the receiver. And now you just got to wait and see what the official has to say. Here's Tom Robinson. Defensive holding the call, an unusual place for that to happen, apparently away from the football. Con Smith, we're going to take a look here. Gabriel has time. He just throws the post. And here is Con Smith. Look at him get up and in the way of that. Is just tremendous of aggressive football.
We'll see it again from the end zone. Larry Conn Smith just fighting it off. And coaches always say, well, who wanted it worse? That time it was Larry Conn Smith.
Rainbow's lining up as if to have the possibility of going for two. It is 10-9 in favor of Pacific. That was the first touchdown pass of the season for Larry Conn Smith. And for Garrett Gabriel, his 7th touchdown pass, 20-yarder. Now Zarin Khan in to tie it. Out of the hold of Santiago. It is good. And with 10 minutes and 51 seconds left in the third quarter, the Rainbows have come back to tie. We are even. Here at that touchdown pass by Gabriel. Watch his reaction as he takes a hit from the defenders. And watching into the end zone, he will grab his wrist right there.
Well, it was Kyron Johnson that seemed to run into Gabriel's arm right after he'd released it. And you can see that's a trainer taking a look at Gabriel's wrist. That can be extremely painful when after you've released the ball, you're in an extremely vulnerable position.
Sal Velasco will kick off for the Rainbows. Daryl Hobbs, number 12, Jesse Campbell, number 20, deep for Pacific. A 10-10 tie with 10 minutes and 51 seconds left in the third. Kickoff deep to Hobbs, takes it on the goal line. Hobbs steps out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Joe Sardo. Joe Sardo down there challenging. Bumped into Ed Ulufanua. And Hobbs had nowhere to go. So the Canadian, Joe Sardo.
Well, I think you see an error of judgment. Hobbs took it 1 yard deep in the end zone. Sardo contained him on the line. You're right, Jim. There was no place to go. Hobbs would have been much better off letting that ball trickle into the end zone.
Gabriel now 7 for 17, 111 yards and 1 touchdown. Conn Smith 3 catches, 68 yards and a touchdown. First down for Pacific. The ball is on the 5-yard line, and we begin this game again. We are tied at 10. Hobbs lofting it, nobody there, threw it too deep. Edwards wanted interference. He's not going to get it. That ball not in the catching mode. 7 plays, 73 yards, 2 minutes, 22 seconds elapsed time. The first consistent drive of the night for the Rainbows, and it pays off with a 20-yard touchdown pass from Garrett Gabriel to Larry Conn Smith. Second down and 10 from the 5. Kopp had all day to throw that last ball. Quick pattern. Turner right on him. Pankey incomplete. That time, Kopp had to hurry his throw. Good pressure up the middle by Akili Calhoun. Kopp is now over for his last 4.
We saw towards the end of the first half, Rainbows generating much better pressure from their front 7. They've got to continue to do that. You've got Pacific in a very tough area here. You hold them on this play, you're going to get the ball in excellent field position. Big play for both teams.
Kopp now 25 for 46, 212 yards, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. Third down and 10 from the 5-yard line. This is Hobbs. Base hit and drop. What a hit by Maeva. Oh, he'll celebrate.
Well, David Maeva plays this game with as much emotion as anybody. He saw the play happen. He's responsible for the short hitch throws. He's an inside linebacker. You've got to get involved with this. And watch Maeva climb the shoulders. He wanted all of the receiver, gets it here, and now Nordbeck doesn't have a whole lot of room in the end zone to punt from.
Nordbeck trying to kick out of the shadows. And Seidner is standing at the 49-yard line of Pacific. Bengals have 10 men on the line of scrimmage. There's the punt. Seidner coming to the sidelines. Takes it on the 47-yard line of Pacific, trying to get to the wall. Down he goes at the 50. Too far to go. Rainbow set up a return to the left side, and Seidner unable to get there.
This is the first half that the University of Hawaii would just as soon forget. You take a look, it was 3 downs and out. It was only the last drive that produced the field goal, and unlike Pacific, Hawaii played the whole first half behind the 50-yard line.
7 out of 8 possessions, they punted the ball in the first half. First down from midfield for the Bows. They have come back to tie it at 10. Ball is given up the middle to Farmer. Good power running that time behind the blocks of Guy Venoza, Sean Ching, and Peter Viliamu. So a gain from the 50 into Pacific territory. And they put the ball down inside the 45. Second down and about 4.5. Matt Volpe, 5'9" junior out of Miami, Florida, number 5, there to make the stop for Pacific.
Well, Jim, I'm not sure what they said to the University of Hawaii offensive lineman at halftime, but I hope they made a tape of it because it's been very effective. They've been effective thus far in the second half.
Again, it's Farmer. Farmer close to the first down, gets to the 41-yard line. Trout, Harris, Lumaquid there to triple team him. And that will bring up third down and 1. Rainbow's much crisper here in the second half. That's what a touchdown will do for you.
Another factor, Jim, is Pacific only has 18 defensive players with them on the trip. They don't have a lot of depth. They have a substitution at various times when they don't really want to because guys are getting fatigued.
Branch to the left and Con Smith to the right. Gabriel Rowling throws long for MacArthur. Adjusting, cannot hold on. Penalty flag. Penalty flag has been thrown on Dimitri Gazela. Boy, MacArthur twisting, turning his body, the maximum effort trying to hold on. And now the call by the referee, Tom Robinson. Interference, Pacific. 15 yards and an automatic first down. Remember, at the conclusion of this game, Bobby and I will be selecting the GTE Hawaiian Most Valuable Rainbow. Hawaiian will present $100 to the General Scholarship Fund of the University of Hawaii in the name of the player who went beyond the call.
Jim, one of the things you got to like about that call,
It's a pass interference, 15 yards, automatic first down.
The Rainbows made that call on 3rd and 1. Remember, 3rd and 1. Pacific's got to be thinking option. What they're getting is Dane MacArthur deep. Fooled Gonzalez. He tries to get down. Actually, a good interference penalty. We're going to see Garrett Gabriel pay the price to earn that 15 yards. And again, right in that arm that he got hit in before. He looks like that wrist is in some pain right now.
First down for the Rainbows at the 26. Game tied at 10. Third quarter. Ball is given to Farmer. Farmer wedges, powers his way inside the 25 to the 23. 8:13 left to play in the third. To the Rainbows, who are very tenuous, very inept in the first half. Very frustrated. They have come out to tie it here in half number 2. And Farmer running with better assurance now from that offensive line. Violetti, Venoza, Ching, Viliamu, Fonseca. Second down and 6 from the 23. Ball is pitched. This is MacArthur trying to get outside. Being chased by Gazela. And out of bounds. Close to the first down. Will they give it to him? Referee went down, and he will not. Troy Reeves able to make him run out of room. Very close to the first down.
As out of sync, as the Rainbows looked in half number 1, they seem to have gone the other way in half number 2. That time, the right decision on the pitch by Gabriel, waited till the last possible second, in spite of being in pain, willing to take the hit, and then MacArthur taking a good read and heading for the first down mark.
Rainbows now put in their power I formation. Jamal Farmer, 43, Richard Stevenson, 33, Frank Shaw Brew, number 40. Third down, less than a yard. This is crunch football right here. Stevenson bounces, scrambles, first down. Excuse me, it was Jamal Farmer. Jamal Farmer.
Good second effort by Farmer. Takes a hit right as soon as he gets the football. Bounces a little to the outside. He wanted the first down and outstretched himself to be sure that the Rainbows had it.
So the Bows have advanced the ball now inside the 15. Just outside the 14-yard line. Jamal Farmer, as we said, running with more authority here in the second half. Branch to the left, Con Smith to the right. Circus catch by Con Smith for the touchdown to tie it. In the slot to the left is Seidner. Gabriel Rowley has time, has all day. End zone too high. Seidner knocked down, interference flag. I don't know. I thought that ball was too high and not catchable.
I agree with you, Jim. That ball uncatchable, and the referees may make a decision to that effect right here. Seidner coming across. No question that Gonzalez hits him. The only question, where is the football? Was it able to be caught? And now we'll get a look at the football. There is Seidner getting ready. No way Jeff Seidner climbs that ladder.
And the referees have said it was not catchable. And it will be 2nd down and 10. The ball just inside the 15-yard line. A 10-10 tie. Third period, 7:06 left. Branch and Conn Smith trot out to the left. MacArthur and Seidner on the wing. And Farmer, the running back. Farmer, short game. Trout, Harris, there to make the stop. Along with Jerry DiMaggio, number 45. You see Walt Harris. A big 3rd down play here, Bobby. 3rd down, long yardage.
It'll be a good one. Good matchup between Sean Ching and Walt Harris. Ching actually manages to drive him off the football, but taking the angles are Pacific and able to grab a hold of Jamal Farmer. Well, Jim, I think this is particularly interesting in terms of play selection. Do the Rainbows try and run option, maybe to the wide side of the field, but they're getting single coverage on the outside receivers? Do you try to break something off and go right to the end zone with the pass?
One of the Rainbows down, and we cannot, from our viewpoint, it's Fonseca. Travis Fonseca from San Jose, California. Went to Live Oak High School in San Jose. Redshirt freshman, 6'4", 256 pounds.
Well, Jim, there's a flip side to the Rainbows having to play some very young and inexperienced offensive linemen. It's one of those next-year deals, though. You got young players with experience. By the time they're juniors, they have a lot of Division I experience. They're going to be much better players. Sometimes you have to suffer in the beginning because nobody gets there without actual game time and without playing against other good players in pressure situations.
3rd down, 8 yards to go. The ball just inside the 13-yard line for the Rainbows. There you see the total offense in the first half of the Bows and in the 3rd quarter. In fact, Farmer was 6 carries, 13 yards in the first half, 12 carries, 31 yards here in the second half. 3rd down and 8. Gabriel Rowland throws for Farmer. Has it. Has to break the tackle. Can't do it. Only gets to the 12-yard line, and we will see Zarin Khan. Jim Sterner did a good job with Jamal Farmer. Sterner, the junior out of Long Beach, number 17 for Pacific. So now Zarin Khan comes in to give the Rainbows the lead. Out of the hold of Walter Santiago, 41-yarder, just before the end of the first half. This will be a 29-yarder. Angle from the left. It is good. 5:56 left to play in the 3rd. For the first time in this game, the Rainbows have the lead. 6 left in the 3rd quarter. Jim Leahy along with Bobby Curran. And the Rainbows of Hawaii lead the Tigers of Pacific for the first time, 13-10. Sal Velasco kicking off. Darryl Hobbs, Jesse Campbell. And it will go to Darryl Hobbs. 20, 25. Down he goes at the 30-yard line. Hit there by the Rainbows' Harry Lyons, number 47. 13-yard return. The way that Pacific has played in the first half, their first 2 drives, 15 plays, they've yielded them 3 first downs. In the second half, their first 2 drives, only 8 plays and no first down. So the Rainbow defense has tightened in the second half, but they have only a very slim 3-point lead. First down from the 30 for Pacific. Troy Kopp. And we have penalty flags on the snap of the ball. Kopp 26 for 47, 213 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Dead ball foul. And it will be false starts on Pacific. Number 74, Greg Bishop, who left the field under his own power in the first half, back in that lineup. That tackle on the left side. And you see him moving. Can't do that.
Greg Bishop considered their best offensive lineman. In fact, that left side, he along with Chris Baus at the guard spot, they are the prime guys for Pacific's front line.
First down and 15 from the 25 for Pacific. Kopp throws to Hobbs, and Hobbs rolled down on the far side by Jerry Winfrey. So a gain from the 25 out to the 33. And it will be second down and 7 for Pacific. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third period. Rainbows in that defensive line: David Tanubasa, Lu'uano Kaulia, and Ma'a Tanubasa. Kopp, short drop. Hit by Odom as he throws. It is incomplete. Pankey going back in the flat on defense. Pass was intended for Melvin Johnson. Good pressure by the Rainbow.
And you're right, Jim. That you call that incompletion. Credit to the defensive front. They don't necessarily get the sack, but they put enough pressure on Kopp that he's got to release it maybe a second and a half faster than he wants to. David Maeva, 31, he is everywhere tonight, leaping, running, and he helps force that pass to be thrown prematurely.
Third down and 7 from the 33. Triple wide receiver now for Pacific to the left side. Kopp rolling, throws. It is complete on the screen, and with it is Anthony Williams. And Williams tackled short of the first down by David Maeva. That will bring up fourth down, and Pacific will have to punt it away.
Well, Jim, the end of that play, Anthony Williams struggling forward, the Rainbows not letting him get to the 40. That's crucial. Another half a yard, and they've got the first down. Good defensive effort.
2 drop back now for the Rainbows. Derek Branch and also Jeff Seidner. Nordbeck punting. And they will kick it to Seidner at the 23. Seidner dancing, breaks a tackle, 30, 35, 37-yard line. Boy, he makes the blood pressure race.
David Maeva on the telephones talking upstairs to the defensive coordinator, Rich Ellerson, getting some instructions. As Rich Ellerson says, in the Hawaii defense, it's sort of like an actor. Some actors know just their lines and their cues. Other guys know everybody's lines. When you're a Hawaii linebacker, you've got to know where everybody flows in each defensive situation.
15-yard return by Seidner puts the ball at the 38-yard line. First and 10 for the Rainbows. They lead 13-10. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third. Gabriel has re-injured his right thumb, but he continues on. Gabriel throws long down the middle. Branch, he has it at the 25.
Tremendous grab by Derek Branch, and I think one of the differences, we talked about confidence. Garrett Gabriel has a little more confidence in his receivers. He threw that into 3 white shirts, but after Con Smith, now he sees Derek Branch give him a chance to go up and fight for the football. Take a look. You see 2 shirts, white shirts. A third one will come into your picture. That's a great job by Derek Branch getting up and going after the football. Who wanted it most? Number 87 in the green, Derek Branch. Great catch.
Split the difference between 42, Pat Aragon, and number 7, Troy Reed. First down for the Rainbows to Farmer. Farmer breaking tackles, leaping forward into the secondary, inside the 20 to the 18. So a good first down play on first and 10 from the 25 for the Rainbows.
What's amazing here is we have seen practically 2 wholly distinct games, first half and second half. Rainbows just way more alive. Seems like whatever was said to them just got through. It worked. They came out with much more intensity. That's led to a couple of good plays, and that in turn has engendered confidence.
Second down and 4. Ball at the 18. Ball is given to Farmer. Big hole inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Jamal Farmer. The Rainbow offense, by comparison, in the first half, the first 2 drives, 7 plays, no first down, and 2 punts. In the second half, the first 2 drives, 15 plays, 4 first downs, 2 scoring drives. That's a big difference.
A Rainbow front doing such a much better job in this second half. Both pass blocking and run blocking. Sean Ching, the leader at the center spot, but Fonseca, Manera, the guys alternating, Lemoy, Tua, Guy Venoso, everybody in the second half doing that job up front.
Lodge Prout is the player being attended to. Prout, the junior out of Lufkin, Texas, very steady first half. Gingerly walking off here with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in the third. Rainbows leading 13-10. Bows will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line of Pacific. Gabriel now 9 for 20, 150 yards, 1 touchdown. He has been sacked 5 times in this game for a minus 48 yards. And Branch, 2 catches, 67 yards. So the Rainbow wide receivers, much maligned this year, not getting clear. All of a sudden here in the second half, they have developed fantastic abilities in getting to the ball. Fumble, and Garrett Gabriel able to fall on it. Everybody was munching in the middle, and all of a sudden the ball was merrily tumbling at the 15-yard line.
Rainbows have had some problems on the center exchange. Sean Ching, this time he gets it. The problem is between Jamal Farmer and Garrett Gabriel. Gabriel, though, senses something's wrong, turns around and dives on the football.
2nd down and 13 from the 15 now. Branch to the left, Con Smith to the right. MacArthur slotted inside of Con Smith. And Seidner on the wing to the right. Gabriel looking, throws long into the end zone. Wide open, MacArthur, touchdown!
You couldn't ask for Dane MacArthur to be any more open than he was. He was in a meadow, waiting in the end zone, just had to wait for it, went down to his knees to make sure he had it. Jeff Seidner actually started to bring some people in the general area because MacArthur was behind everybody. He went down, made sure he had the ball in his hands. A touchdown for the Rainbows. We're going to get a look at the pattern that MacArthur runs. He just turns it out. See, he's waiting, like a guy waiting for a bus. Make sure he has his change right.
The extra point is good by Darren Cobb, and the Rainbows lead 20-10. They have taken control. Rainbows 20, Pacific 10. Rainbows have taken this second half, and they have declared it their own. Kicking off. Hobbs is deep, and he takes it on the 8-yard line. Hobbs to the 20, and he meets resistance from Joe Sarbo. So the scoring drive, 5 plays, 62 yards, 1 minute and 48 seconds in elapsed time. Gabriel, 15-yard pass to MacArthur, his 2nd touchdown pass of the game, his 8th of the season. And Gabriel moving in now on career touchdown throws. He has 32. 15-yard kickoff return. First down for Pacific. Ball is at the 23-yard line. Troy Kopp sets up. Sideline pattern. It is complete to Edwards. Edwards bumped out of bounds by Harper. That should be enough for the first down out to the 34-yard line. So Pacific comes right back. They do what they've done all night long.
Well, Jason Edwards is going to have to be about picture perfect now because Kenny Harper has completely removed any kind of cushion on him. He is up about 2 steps off the line of scrimmage. He's decided that Edwards can't beat him with speed.
1st and 10 for Pacific. Ball at the 34. Kopp turns the corner. He will run. Gets a block out to the 40. And Tang Ki pulls him up at the 42. Kopp getting up very slowly. Terry Whitaker also there.
Pacific will pick up a few yards on that play, Jim, but that's not something you worry about too much because Pacific's not going to beat you with Troy Kopp carrying the ball. The good omen here is for the Rainbows is that they're able to generate a whole lot of pressure.
Kopp comes up limping, and they will help him off. Try to ad-lib around the corner. Chris King, 6'5", 210, the junior, out of Dixon, California, went to Sacramento Community College, has gone into the game for Troy Kopp. King is 50 for 85, 629 yards. Ball is given up the middle to Anthony Williams. And Williams meets David Maeva.
Well, David Maeva, I'll be real surprised if you don't see him in the Warrior Club at the end of the week. He's been everywhere. Tremendous intensity, seems to have lifted his teammates up a notch. There you see some numbers on Chris King. Actually, he's been very successful, as you pointed out earlier, leading the Big West in passing efficiency.
King, with those 8 touchdowns, he's only been intercepted once. 3rd down and 1. King will audibilize, but he has the time to do it. Must snap the ball. Does so, and gives it up the middle to Anthony Williams, and we have a penalty flag. They may not have gotten that off on time. That snap of the ball may have been just after the double zeros came up on the play clock.
Well, that was very close, Jim. I think the Rainbows are celebrating.
Illegal procedure. So instead of 3rd and 1, it will be 3rd and 6 for Pacific. And here comes Kopp. He does not look 100% as he comes back onto the field. He will come in for King. 29 out of 52 for 238 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. So Troy Kopp, boy, you talk about a resilient young man. Third down and 6 on the 38-yard line. Kopp throws, it's tipped and incomplete. Whitaker was up there along with Melvin Johnson. Whitaker holds on. He's gone. Now we'll bring up 4th down, and Pacific will punt it away.
Another strong defensive series for the Rainbows, though, able to generate some decent pressure, and that's the kind of pressure that makes either a Chris King or now back to Troy Kopp throw an errant pass. Maybe someone get a hand on it. The defense, they know people are coming after them.
Tony Nordbeck in to punt. Jeff Seidner back in single safety. And this, an excellent punt. Seidner back inside the 20, takes it on the 19. Seidner up the near sideline to the 25, 30, 35. Seidner at the 40. Seidner at midfield. What a run. Penalty flag has been thrown.
Well, Jeff Seidner, just a piece of work on punt returns. In recent memory, hard to think of a college player who's ever done it any better.
Clipping on the Bows. That will nullify an electrifying run up the near sidelines. You'll see the effort by Jeff Seidner. He is amazing.
What you love about Seidner is the way he changes directions. He just could make you sprain your knee without contact. He'll get up, he's got the little spurts to get by you, but just a real tough guy to tackle, surprising in a guy that's only 5'7" and 170 pounds.
43-yard punt, 35-yard return. But the clipping penalty from the point of the infraction will move the ball back inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter. So the Rainbows trailing 10-3 at halftime. Come out, and they now lead 20-10 at the end of 3. This is the Isu second week we've seen this. Gabriel back to pass. Chased out of the pocket. Down he goes. That is number 6. Matt Volpe. Volpe, 5'9" junior. Sacks Gabriel for the 6th time. And Pacific has really been bothering him all night long. Now the 3rd quarter officially comes to an end. And when we come back, we'll have quarter number 4. In the 4th quarter, Rainbows leading 20-10. 2nd down. Long yardage for the Rainbows at their own 7. The pitch goes to MacArthur. And he is driven out of bounds at the 13-yard line. That will bring up third down, approximately 10 yards to go. Troy Reeves there for Pacific. Gabriel has been sacked 6 times for minus 53 yards. And yet in the third quarter, the Rainbow scores 17 points, and they take control of the game. They trail 10-3 at halftime, and as we begin the fourth period, they lead 20-10. Richard Stevenson has come in at running back now. Jeff Newman, number 1 on the wing. Gabriel rolling, looking, throws. It is intercepted by Gonzalez. And Gonzalez has the ball inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. I thought that perhaps Gabriel threw that ball over the line of scrimmage, very close to it.
Well, Dane MacArthur got himself into an open area, a good pass, and you had the reception. Gonzalez behind MacArthur, gotten beat once for a touchdown, showing more respect. The pass overthrown, Gonzalez there to grab it. You'll see how open Dane MacArthur is. He is wide open, just over the head, and Garrett Gabriel would like to have that one back.
7th interception of the year for Gabriel, 3rd interception for Gonzalez. So Pacific now with an excellent opportunity at the 29-yard line. Troy Kopp seems to be rehabilitated from his injury. Left the game for one play. Anthony Williams in at the setback. Kopp looking right. Throws over the middle. It is tipped. It is caught. It is dropped. Hobbs had a touchdown. He had a touchdown. Kenny Harper and Terry Whitaker defending on the play.
Rainbows were blitzing from the side. The ball thrown short. Harper with a hand on it. Almost a tip drill. And Darryl Hobbs gets a bad break, unable to hold it on. You're right. No question he was gone for 6 had he held on.
2nd down and 10 from the 28-yard line of the Rainbows. Hobbs again with time. Throws short. Stepping out of bounds with it is Edwards. Edwards steps out on the 24. Gain of 4. 3rd down and 6. Garrett Gabriel, of course, disappointed overthrowing that interception. Shot of him on the sidelines. 3rd down. 6 yards to go for Pacific. Kopp looking to the sidelines for the play. Pacific, as you are well aware now, does not huddle. And that allows Kopp to have the time to really change things at the line of scrimmage. He still has 10 seconds in which to snap the ball. 3rd down. Throws over the middle, complete to Edwards, and Edwards is hit down hard by Whitaker at the 19-yard line. That could be short of the 1st down, but on 4th down, Pacific will go for it. They have been able to do it 3 times tonight. 14:21 left to play in this game, and Tom Robinson calling timeout. They will measure. Pacific in 4-down territory anyway.
I don't think there's much question that Pacific will go for it if they're short. I don't think Pacific enjoyed a fairly generous spot.
And that's a 1st down. Kopp is now 31 of 56, 248 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. A touchdown to Darryl Hobbs. He almost had one moments ago. So they will position the chains. Kopp already has the play from the bench. And he has still 25 seconds in which to snap the ball. So they can have a convention before they have to snap it here. Now, is this 4th down or is it 1st down? Apparently, it's 4th down. I thought they had the 1st down, Bobby.
Looked like that was the indication. Apparently, the official rethought that.
So 4th down and inches. They give it to Anthony, and he is able, I believe, to get the 1st down. Well, I saw the official signify 1st down.
No question. He made the arm motion.
Well, that's a moot point now. because he will say first down, or will they measure? That is the fourth straight time that Pacific has been able to convert on fourth down in this game. They now have it at the Rainbow 18. Kopp again to throw. Chase throws. It is caught at the 2. The ball comes loose, incomplete. Winfrey was there. Also Whitaker. Pass was intended for Darrell Hobbs. Hobbs appeared, Bobby, to have position, to have his hands on it. And the ball popped free. And holding has been called on Pacific to add insult to injury.
Well, that's the kind of thing Pacific wanted to avoid. But you got to like the way, this is Jerry Winfrey, a reserve linebacker, comes in, drops into his zone, and makes a nice catch.
Holding against the offense. 10 yards, repeat first down.
So it is still first down, but it is first down and 20. On the line of scrimmage now, the 28-yard line. Pacific has to go to the 8 for the first down. Aaron Turner, he has not been heard from in the second half. He is to the left, Edwards to the right. UOP has been penalized 6 times for 55 yards. In motion is Hobbs. Kopp to throw. He's sacked. Penalty flag. Tanabasa was there. David Tanabasa was there. Lino Samana. So a good team effort that time. Let's see what the call is. Holding against Pacific. Rainbows may decline this to eat up the down. Let's see. Maeva talking things over with referee Robinson. Rainbows lead 20-10 with a 17-point third quarter. 13:45 left to play.
Holding against the offense. It's refused. Second down.
Lost.
You're going to get a look at the pressure that Troy Kopp is feeling now. He only gets a couple of steps before he realizes I'm in trouble. Tries to step up, cannot. Rainbows everywhere. Samana in on it, along with Mark Odom, and then a lineman reaching up and too late committing the hold.
Chris King has come back in now at quarterback. King rolling to the near side. Chased out of the pocket. He will run. And they wedge him to the turf at the 25-yard line. That will bring up third down and about 17. Lewis Randall credited with the stop, number 51 for the Rainbows. So all of a sudden, Chris King comes back in place of Troy Kopp. And Kopp may have been shaken up. He's sitting down on the intended to.
Well, expect the Rainbows to bring heavy pressure here. You got a quarterback with little playing time in this game, not used to seeing the defense hold.
Chris King has come back in now at quarterback. King rolling to the near side. Chased out of the pocket. He will run. And they wedge him to the turf at the 25-yard line. That will bring up third down and about 17. Lewis Randall credited with the stop, number 51 for the Rainbows. So all of a sudden, Chris King comes back in place of Troy Kopp. And Kopp may have been shaken up. He's sitting down on the bench being attended to.
Well, expect the Rainbows to bring heavy pressure here. You got a quarterback with little playing time in this game, not used to seeing the defensive pressure. This is a chance to get a lot of stuff on a guy who's not really game warm yet.
Third down, 18. King. Sack. Akili Calhoun.
Great defensive series for the Rainbows. You know, Akili Calhoun is heavily bothered by asthma. And King originally has some time, but Calhoun, asthma and all, comes in, wraps up the quarterback, and you can see him very happy with his performance on that play.
Third sack of the year for Akili Calhoun. Fourth sack of the game now for the Rainbow defense. Brian Hilborn in to try a 51-yard field goal out of the hold of Jason Edwards. 51-yarder. It won't get there. The Rainbows will take over. Penalties hurt Pacific. And then they lost Troy Kopp. And the Rainbow defense stiffens, and it takes over with 12 minutes and 3 seconds left. And the Rainbows leading 20-10. Rainbows 3-3 on the year, and Pacific 3-4 coming into this game. Michael Carter has come into the game at quarterback for the Rainbows. Carter, out of Long Beach, California, the 5'10" redshirt freshman. Carter is 6 of 19 for 56 yards and 1 touchdown. In rushing, he has carried the ball 29 times for 221 yards and 1 touchdown. Carter gives the ball to Farmer. Farmer finds a hole, gets out over the 40 to the 41-yard line. Line of scrimmage being the 34. So a good play on first down for the Rainbows. They want to have that possession now. They want to put together a consistent drive and eat up time.
And this is what Michael Carter is good at, because even you don't have to use the fullback dive, you get a whole nother dimension because Carter loves to carry the football. Whole different look for the Pacific defense.
Ball is given to Farmer. He fights a stone wall for no gain. Aaron Johnson there for Pacific. Garrett Gabriel, a report on him. He bruised his right hand. He is not expected to return, but he is available if needed. So when we saw that reaction following the touchdown pass, that he grabbed his hand, that was serious. And he is not really expected to return to this game unless something happens to Carter and then Santiago. 3rd down and 4. Michael Carter rolling. Sets up. Hit as he throws. It is incomplete, almost intercepted. Brian Miller almost came up with it.
Kyron Johnson, number 23, top of the screen, fights off Farmer, going to put some pressure on, and does get a hand on Carter's arm, prevents that pass from having any chance. Johnson, a big play guy for Pacific. He's done a great job.
4th down and 4. And Winston Haynes in to do the punting for the Rainbows. Deep is Brian Miller. Punt by Haynes. Miller will take it at the 27. Gets by a Brew, but not Joaquin Barnett. Barnett able to get him, along with help from Joe Sardo. Gabriel tonight, 10 for 22, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was intercepted once. Gabriel now has 32 career touchdowns. That is 1 short of Larry Arnold. Arnold in first place for 33. 32-yard punt, 3-yard return. There will be first down for Pacific. 10:37 left in this game. Troy Kopp back in at quarterback. Triple wide receivers to the right. Shovel pass to Anthony Williams. Williams running out over the 40 to the 42, fumbles the ball. Penalty flag. It may just be a marker on the fumble, but there's a lot of grabbing going on the bottom of that pile right now.
Taking a little while to decipher. Rainbow's not celebrating usually means the offensive team's held on to it.
And that's enough for a first down. Good shovel pass up the middle to Anthony Williams.
We're going to get a look at the fumble. Williams got it tucked in, going to be stripped. And I think that's Gavin Robertson, and then the scramble begins. Terry Whitaker will think when he watches tape, if only I had turned up number 2. Looked up, I could have grabbed that one.
First down for Pacific on the 42-yard line. Hobbs in motion. Kopp throws to Melvin Johnson. Hit by Whitaker. Whitaker eluded the block of Kurt Crandall. Then came over, and he was able to make the stop.
Well, Terry Whitaker, very versatile. Played some linebacker, back to a safety position. He sees the field very well. No question in his mind what's happening. They're going to throw that hitch to Johnson. He comes in and he's quick enough to avoid the block. A slower back doesn't get there.
2nd down and 14 for Pacific. Ball at the 38-yard line. 9:28 left. Pacific still with the potential to get back in it. Kopp the throw. Throws long over the middle. There's Hobbs. He holds on. Hobbs at the Rainbow, 37. Joaquin Barnett may have saved another score.
Well, great catch by Darryl Hobbs. Keep in mind, this guy was a quarterback. It's going to be Barnett with him the whole time. A little bump right there, and then Barnett's got to play catch-up. He closes quickly, but not quickly enough. Gets the hand up. Got to like the way Darryl Hobbs plays the wide receiver position.
He's a good one. First down for Pacific at the 37-yard line of the Rainbow. Kopp, short drop, lofts it up the sideline. Unfortunately, Edwards turned out instead of running the sideline go pattern. And Kopp goes palms upwards to the sidelines to his bench. Somebody with a miscue that time.
Well, I think what happens when you run this kind of a stretch offense, it's incumbent upon the receiver to make a decision. If the DB is close to you, then you take it long. If you feel he's giving you too much, you break it out. Well, the wide receiver wasn't as comfortable with the cushion as was Kopp. He wanted to go for the home run.
Second down and 10. Kopp sells the screen. Anthony Williams to the 30, down the sideline. Open field, he may score. Williams to the 3-yard line. They say he stepped out at the 11. Whitaker finally catches up with him. Excellent call by Pacific.
Well, Troy Kopp plays this beautifully, too. He's feeling pressure from the backside. Robinson in front of him gets it out to Williams, who's a better pass catcher, perhaps, than a runner. He just goes straight down the sideline, see if you can catch me. And Rainbow's fortunate that he steps out on the 11.
Kopp now 35 for 61 in this game. Hobbs, by the way, 9 catches, 95 yards, and 1 touchdown. And you're looking at Anthony Williams. He almost scored on that last play. First down, the ball just outside the Rainbow 11. Hobbs in motion. Kopp still has 7 seconds in which to snap the ball. Snaps it with 1 second left. Quick pattern to Hobbs. And you can hear the pads pop as Jerry Winfrey ushers him out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Gain of 2.
Well, Troy Kopp ran that clock down to the bitter dregs. The 1 had just disappeared when he got that snap.
Rainbows lead 20-10. But Pacific now cutting. Triple wide receiver to the left. In motion comes Hobbs. He joins Edwards on the right. Looking right. Throws into the end zone. Wide open is Hobbs. Second touchdown reception of the game. And I mean, he was backpedaling all by himself, like trampling on the tulips. 9-yard touchdown pass.
Well, Darryl Hobbs becoming Troy Kopp's favorite receiver. He's in motion coming at you, and Hobbs going to turn it down. He's got to fight through the traffic a little bit, but then gets behind. By the time Jerry Winfrey, number 90, realizes that Hobbs is back there by himself, it's too late. Kopp's picked him up.
For Kopp, that is his 18th touchdown. And that's right up there, I believe, second place now on the Pacific list for quarterbacks. It is now 20-17. Jason Shoughton kicking off for Pacific. And it is taken by Sider, trying to get to the outside. He can turn the corner. Being chased by Gazelas, comes back to the near side, gets a block, gets another block, gets out to the 35-yard line. Gordon Jones made the stop. Kickoff return of 9 yards. And Garrett Gabriel coming back into the game at quarterback. Kopp now 37 for 63, 317 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hobbs 11 catches, 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. It is 20-17. First down for the Rainbows at the 35-yard line. Ball is given to Richard Stevenson. He picks up maybe 2, maybe 3. 7 plays, 69 yards. 9-yard touchdown pass from Kopp to Hobbs. Hobbs now has 10 receptions. For touchdowns this season. Gain on the play of about 3. 2nd down and 7.
Garrett Gabriel with a hurt hand. That may infringe on what the Rainbows are able to do. I'm sure that they don't want to put him in a position where he's going to be jarred when he's throwing it. Whether or not that's going to bother his throwing motion remains to be seen. The Rainbows, though, would love to use the clock and use a lot of triple option if they can continue to work it on the ground.
Don Smith and Derek Branch wide to the left side. Gabriel audibilizing. He has time. He has 9 seconds in which to snap the ball. Ball is given to Farmer. Another short gain over the 40. Jamal Farmer replacing Stevenson as running back. Darren Brady, number 44 there for Pacific. And that brings up a very crucial 3rd down play. 3rd down and 3. 7:21 left to play in the game, and the Rainbows leading 20-17 over a very spunky, very competent Pacific Tiger football team. Branch and Con Smith wide to the far side. Seidner and MacArthur on the wings. Ball is pitched to MacArthur. Can he get the first down? He does and more to midfield. Good block by Seidner on Dimitri Gonzalez. And Gonzalez is down.
Just a real good call. You want to get the ball. The guys whose hands you like it to be in are Seidner and MacArthur. They're your most reliable guys. You get a look at Gonzalez. He's made a nice job, done a nice job tonight, and a surprise start for him. He's had to cover Dane MacArthur. That's not easy. And here he takes him down on a run and pays the price. Holding his knee, and with those things you always hope maybe it's just a twist and nothing more serious. With only 18 defensive players, Pacific can ill afford to lose any of them.
Gonzalez has played an outstanding game. He has 1 interception. He's played a very spirited, steady game for Pacific, and they are checking the knee. That could be the University of Hawaii alumni band.
Hey, when you're not exactly up on your musical score, better to wear the hat.
I don't think they've paid all their tuition. Homecoming tonight for the Rainbows. And Gonzalez, good sign. Seidner goes over in a very sportsmanlike way, shakes his hand. So Gonzalez will walk off under his own power. The Rainbows will have a first down at midfield with 6 minutes and 57 seconds left. 20-17. Rainbows trailed 10-3 at halftime, came back with a 17-point 3rd quarter to lead 20-10. But then another touchdown pass from Troy Kopp to Darrell Hobbs. Second one of the night has tightened this game up again, 20-17. First down from midfield. Gabriel to throw, looking sideline, throws long up the sideline. It is intercepted at the 13-yard line by Troy Reeves. Great coverage on Jeff Seidner by Reeves. I mean, he was step for step with Seidner. And Reeves slow getting up.
Was outstanding coverage. You're going to see Seidner head up the sideline. Reeves jumps into coverage right now. He knows Seidner can go. Turns around, keeps his eye on the ball, comes back to make the catch. That is he gave a clinic on how to play it as a defensive back. Now you can see clearly how he's cut in front of Seidner, goes down to make the catch. The advantage to this for the Rainbows is that is as good as an excellent punt. However, Rainbows would have liked to hold it and run some more clock. 6:31 is an eternity against this kind of no-huddle offense.
10th interception thrown by Gabriel this season. So now with 6 minutes and 31 seconds left, Pacific putting the ball in play at their 14-yard line. is in a position to take this game. 39,941 tickets sold, 33,810 at Aloha Stadium tonight. Pacific has enough time for a consistent drive. Hobbs throws sideline, throws it high over Turner. Turner has really been blanketed by Kim McLeod. And since receiving early passes in the first quarter, he has not been heard from. Kopp needs 11 yards to set the NCAA record for most yards passing in 4 consecutive games. That's amazing. Kopp coming off 2 500-plus performances. First time a quarterback has done that. Pacific, the 3rd leading passing offense in the nation. Kopp with time. Throws. It is complete. Very short pattern, however, to Anthony Williams. Out over the 15 to approximately the 16-yard line. David Tanuvasa and Manley Williams there to converge on her. Clock ticking, 6:10 left here in this game. 20 for the Rainbow, 17 for Pacific. Edwards, Melvin Johnson, and Darrell Hobbs are flanked to the right. Pacific in 3rd down situations, 3 for 17. They are 0 for their last 9. Rolling is Kopp. We have a penalty flag and whistles. Clock stops with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left, and Mark Odom is down. Illegal procedure against Pacific.
Well, that's a particularly tough penalty against Pacific because 3rd and 9, they can run the 3-step drop, get receivers out far enough.
Illegal procedure, illegal snap, repeat 3rd down.
But you get into 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14, and then you're talking you need 3 seconds for your quarterback. Those seconds have been hard to buy for Troy Kopp in second half.
3rd down following the penalty. Kopp will audibilize. Crowd will try to interfere with what he's trying to do. Werner to the far side, triple wide receiver to the right. Kopp looking. Now throws, hit as he throws. It is incomplete. Oh, what an effort. What an effort by Edwards up the near sideline. Tang Ki was in the area. And excellent pressure by the Rainbows. And so Kopp had to throw the ball perhaps too soon. And that ball was not thrown well. 5:18 left, and Pacific will punt it away.
And Jim, again, another very strong defensive series for the Rainbows. Didn't give up anything they couldn't afford to give up. Got Pacific in the 3rd down situation they wanted, and then got the pressure. That's been so key in this game. Kopp has time. He's excellent. Doesn't have time, he becomes ordinary.
Tony Nordbeck from his end zone. Rainbows with 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Rainbows will have it at the 15-yard line. Topsy Alteli blocked that punt.
Well, Topsy Alteli hasn't gotten a whole lot of playing time. He was hurt when he came back to camp in the fall. A backup role in the secondary, but plays on the special teams, has a great heart. You take a look as he gets a piece of Norbeck's punt right there, and that is a huge play for the Rainbows. Great angle there. Alteli just smothering Nordbeck. We're going to get even another shot on this one. Alteli's got an angle. Looked like he might have taken it right in the face mask.
First down for the Rainbows at the 15. Topsy Alteli may have sealed this victory for the Bows with that blocked punt. First and 10 from the 15. Farmer to the 10-yard line. Gain of 5.
Well, Jim, I'll be very surprised if this doesn't turn into a farmer's market right here. They're going to give it to Jamel right, left, and up the gut. You run clock, you get the score fine. If not, you come away with a field goal and you get into a prevent. In either case, looking very good, clock and otherwise for the Bows now.
4 minutes, 46 seconds. And the key, Tassi Alteli. Branch and Con Smith to the near side. But all eyes right now on Farmer. Second down. And Gabriel in no hurry to snap the ball. Farmer. Tried to get outside. Ankle tackle. Holding on. Darren Brady.
Well, Darren Brady prevented a touchdown there. Jamal Farmer gets loose. He's on. And again, Farmer, the workhorse. You're going to see an excellent tackle at 44. Watch his hands go low. Got that ankle, tripped him up. Farmer had nobody in front of him. Might have been able to score had Brady not made that excellent ankle tackle.
Third down. Jeff Newman comes in to the game now for the Rainbows. And Jeff Seidner leaves. Con Smith to the right. Derek Branch to the left. Slotted to the left is MacArthur. Slotted to the right is Branch. And timeout has been called by the quarterback, Gabriel. 3:39 left, 20-17 Rainbows. Western Athletic Conference football today. Air Force. They bombed Utah 52-21. New Mexico and Brigham Young all over the Lobos. The Lobos will be here next week against the Rainbows. Wyoming holding on over UTEP 17-10. And here the Rainbows with third down and a long 6. They have to go just inside the 5. They are just outside the 10. Third down. Branch and Con Smith, Newman and MacArthur are the receivers. Gabriel to throw, looking. Throws down the middle into the end zone, batted down. Batted down by Pat Aragon, who came into this game leading Pacific in tackles. And something may have been crossed up there, the way Gabriel is reacting, because he threw that ball into a crowd. And MacArthur is down. So Dane MacArthur not getting up. And we'll see whether there was a collision between the receivers that time as Gabriel tries to force one down the middle. And yes, the two receivers collide. Newman and MacArthur. MacArthur coming off not 100%.
Toughest hit MacArthur takes all night at the hands of his teammate. And somebody had to be a little deeper. Someone in the wrong area generally. And
3:34 left, Bobby. Darren Kahn in to try the field goal. And this will be a 27-yarder. Straight on. Out of the hold of Walter Santiago. It is perfect. The Rainbows lead now 23-17 with 3:29 left. Darren Kahn tonight in field goals, 3 for 3. 3-17. Rainbows over the Tigers of Pacific. But enough time left for the Tigers to make a run at it. Rainbows with that 6-point lead. Hobbs and Jesse Campbell deep for Pacific. Velasco kicking off, and it will go to Hobbs. Takes it on the 6. Crushed at the 18.
And it's Sean Abreu meeting him. He is one of the special teams kamikaze guys for the Rainbows. Loves to come down, loves to hit people.
Dean Nakagawa also.
And Hobbs about to come into the screen, and boom, Nakagawa low and Abreu high. Hobbs paid the price.
So first down for Pacific. They have it at their own 20, 14-yard kickoff return by Hobbs. Hobbs bounces right back up. Triple wide receiver to the short side of the field to the right. Troy Kopp. 3:25 left. His team trails by 6. Kopp looking. Steps away. Will run 20, 25-yard line. It will give him forward progress to the 20. Let's see. I'll put it on the short of the 25. Second down and 5. Clock ticking. 38 for 66 now, 318. Kopp looking. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up. Chased out of the pocket. Kopp is tripped up from behind by Manley Williams. Fumbles the ball. But they say that the ground cannot cause the fumble. Well, credit Manley Williams with not giving up.
Well, Manley Williams runs very well, as do all the linebackers, and what a difference that makes on this play. Running down the quarterback from behind just gets him by the ankles. Excellent tackle. Prevents the first down, allows the clock to keep running.
Pacific in the second half, 0 for 10 in third down conversion. Anthony Williams, the running back, gets the call, and he gets the first down out to the 31-yard line. 2:14 left. And the Rainbows leading 23-17. The Bows have had to come from behind. They trailed 10-0, then 10-3 at halftime. They put 17 points on the board in the third period. They added a field goal in the fourth quarter after second touchdown pass from Kopp to Hobbs for Pacific. First down from the 31. Kopp, grabbed by Maeva, throws batted down. Haku Kahuano.
Oh, David Maeva down, made a tremendous defensive play, but he's in quite a bit of pain. We're going to take a look at Maeva. He's got a hand, and now he starts to twist, and the leg comes all the way around and catches underneath them. That is painful.
That's not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Maeva has had to battle injuries last year, this year. He plays with such recklessness. You can see that he really bent his knee back that time, and concerned for him now with 2:04 left. Maeva is truly one of the leaders on the defense. This team has been criticized this year for not really having leaders, but Maeva certainly one to be considered. That defensive unit this year for the Rainbows has played with exquisite pride.
Oh, David Maeva has been everywhere all season, but in particular in this game. He's given pressure. He's been involved in stopping the run. Only a whirligig with the kind of effort that only he can give produces the injury right here.
He will have to be helped off. So like his counterpart, Mike Tressler, Maeva plays a fearless, emotional game. So they will help him off. And for Coach Bob Wagner, injuries have really taken dreams this year and have sullied them. Left to play in the game. Second down and 10 from the 31-yard line. Rainbows blitz again. Kopp is hit, fumbles the ball. Haku Kahuano has it. Kahuano recovered the fumble, but the blitz came from Tony Pankey.
Well, Pankey comes from the safety. Kopp, who's right-handed, as the blitz is coming from the right. He turns his shoulder. He is never going to see Tony Pankey. The first thing he knows is when he is crushed, can't hold onto it through no fault of his own, and Haku Kahuano burrows under to make it. This is Kopp. Never gets a glimpse of Pankey. That smarts.
First down for the Rainbows at the 21 with 1 minute and 58 seconds. Frank Sean Abreu comes into the game. And Garrett Gabriel trotting out from the bench. As you take a look at David Maeva. Abreu, Stevenson, and Farmer in the game now for that power I formation, and now timeout has been called by the Rainbows. Next week, New Mexico comes to town, and the Rainbows start the final lurch in this season as they will start the WAC sojourn, as they will host New Mexico next week, and then in 2 weeks they will play at San Diego State and then finish out the season against Wyoming, Colorado State, and Brigham Young. But next week the Lobos come to town, the much improved Lobos, as the Hawaii Rainbows get back into the Western Athletic Conference for games, and from now on until the end of the season, it will be all Western Athletic Conference opponents. Next week, New Mexico. Hope you can make your plans to be with us at Aloha Stadium for next week's WAC game, Hawaii against the Lobos of New Mexico. That should be another wild one. You can see that game on KHNL in Hawaii throughout the magnificent islands of the 50th state, or on Prime Ticket throughout Southern California, Arizona, and Nevada. We send our best to you. First down for the Bows at the 21. Power eye of Bruce, Stevenson, and Farmer. It is Farmer. Bouncing to the outside. Farmer breaking tackles, gets to the 17. Second down and 6.
Rainbow's going to play a little smash ball here, but one of the Rainbows goes down on the play, and apparently the center, Sean Ching. Now, this is the guy that's the only offensive lineman that played on a regular basis last season. He started last year. He is the lone remnant of that very successful offensive line. And he is without question the Rainbows' best offensive lineman now.
He has been playing this year with a shoulder injury. So Sean Ching, Rainbow center, lying down at the 20-yard line with 1 minute and 41 seconds left to play in this game. This is the last of the series between these two teams. We have not taken a look at future schedules, but the Rainbow's not scheduled to play Pacific for at least the next 3-4 years. And as we mentioned, this is the 25th meeting between these two teams, and that series started back in 1939, the University of Pacific in Stockton, California. And the Rainbows have carried on a fine tradition of rivalry throughout the years, especially in women's volleyball. It seems year after year, Pacific in the Big West and Hawaii going for the title. Sean Ching limping, but walking under his own power.
Sean Ching starts to walk by the huddle. I don't think he wants to come out. Well, once the trainer's out with you, you got to be out at least one play.
Lemoy Tua has gone in to play center. So that offensive line now, Doug Violette, Guy Bonoza, Lemoy Tua, Peter Viliamu, Travis Fonseca. 2 redshirt freshmen. Lemoy Tua, who's played all over that offensive line. He's also the long snapper, 5th-year senior. Guy Bonoza, who's played very little, also a 5th-year senior. And Doug Violette, a sophomore. Here come the Rainbows. Now when a new center is in the game, that's a different feel for the quarterback. Different snap. Second down. Farmer finds a hole, he may score. Touchdown. And Lemoy Tua, I believe, is down. 17-yard touchdown run by Jamal Farmer. That's power football. For Farmer, that is his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season.
Pacific expecting the ball to come right up the middle. Farmer sees no hole, cuts it outside, and then it's a foot race. Jamal Farmer's first 5 steps. Well, he can run with anybody, and he beats him to the box at the corner.
Great block by Frank Shawn of Brew. Lemoy Tua has gotten back up, and he will do the snapping on this extra point try. Now, Frank Shawn of Brew is trying to call for a timeout. We use the words Frank Shawn of Brew because his whole family is named Frank. I mean, his brothers are named Frank, his father is named Frank, his grandfather is named Frank. So in order to tell all the Franks apart, we go by the middle name, and that's Frank Shawn. Quite a guy. 1 minute and 13 seconds, 29-17 in favor of the Rainbows. You can see the potential of Jamal Farmer once he bounces to the outside And he can sense that goal line. Very powerful runner. But a great block by Frank Shaw and Abreu to spring it. So the Rainbows all season long have been a team that has had to pick up the pieces. It's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle where the pieces, there's always something wrong. They don't quite fit. They get soggy. You have to try to fit them in as best you can. That's what the Rainbows in 1990 have been forced to do. The Rainbows now, as you see, have no timeouts remaining. It is 29-17. This is very positive thinking on the part of the television crew here. And it could be reality, or maybe not, as the Rainbows are going for two. Gabriel looks into the end zone. Throws, complete. Farmer falls down. He cannot hold on. And the ball tumbles loose. It remains 29-17. Talk about positive thinking. We have to adjust sometimes. I'm Fred. 29-17 in favor of the Rainbows of Hawaii over the University of Pacific. Bob Wagner closing in on his 27th coaching victory. He's in his 4th year coaching the Rainbows. Darryl Hobbs and Jesse Campbell deep for Pacific, a team that continues to play with much pride in this game. Hobbs takes it on the 13-yard line to the 20, to the 27. Thomas Heffernan is there, and Frank Shaw and Abreu, number 40. 12-yard return by Hobbs. So Pacific trotting out as a team. And Troy Kopp, who has passed 2 weeks ago for over 530 yards, last week for 515 yards, and tonight for over 300 yards. In the lead, this offense again, 107 left. Pacific has all 3 timeouts remaining. They trail 29-17. Top throws. It is incomplete, intended for Turner. Good pressure again by the Rainbows. Manley Williams there. And also Lino Samana covering in the secondary, Tony Pankey and Kim McLeod.
Very difficult to maintain any kind of protection for your quarterback when the other team knows that you've got to go a long way. You've got to do it more than once. Absolutely no question that Top is throwing. There's very little doubt that he's throwing no matter what the score is.
Second down and 10 from the 27. Turner and Johnson to the far side. Edwards and Colustian to the near side. The ball thrown down the middle for Colustian. Winfrey covering on the play and having to hurry to throw that time was Kopp. Brian Colustian, number 84, just into the game, 5'8" senior out of Burbank, California.
Well, I think something that can be safely said for UOP, and that is that under Walt Harris, this team plays hard. They obviously have turned around offensively under John Shannon, and John Neal, the new defensive coordinator, also has a team playing with great intensity. You just get the feeling it's a matter of time until all the pieces come together and Pacific starts a new tradition.
This pass, a shovel pass, that's complete to Anthony Williams, and he's in the clear at the 40. He's at midfield, an ankle tackle with a fine play by Terry Whitaker. Whitaker may have saved the score. That was Kopp's 70th pass of this game. He is 39 for 70.
He's going to walk out of here with his arm in a sling.
First down for Pacific at the 50. 29-17 Rainbows. 44 seconds left. You can see the clock. Kopp looking. Throws sideline. Colustian. He is open inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. Gavin Robertson shoves him out of bounds.
Well, Jim, the reason for the big gain there is that Jerry Winfrey, the Rainbow linebacker, saw an opportunity to maybe make a pick, get a little bit of glory, and unfortunately for him, didn't get there in time. Colustian makes the catch, and he's got room to run.
First down for Pacific on the 25-yard line of the Rainbows. First and 10. Pacific not done yet. Kopp, sideline pattern, Colustian. And Colustian catches the ball at the 6. Colustian, that is only his second reception this season. And it is first down for Pacific at the 6-yard line. Excellent catch by Kolostian.
Well, Kolostian makes the adjustment, sees the ball's low, has to avoid Jerry Winfrey's knees, but does a great job, really shows the concentration you need to get down and take a ball that's a little off center.
Jerry Winfrey down in the end zone with 29 seconds left to play, and the Rainbows leading 29-17. Bows have scored in this game 3 in the second quarter, 17 in the third quarter, and 9 in the fourth quarter.
Well, this is apparently becoming a very costly game for the Rainbows. Looks like they're going to get the W, but they've got a couple of key guys that have been hurt. We saw Sean Ching shaken up. David Maeva, we get the word that is apparently a bruised foot. Garrett Gabriel with a bruised hand, and now Jerry Winfrey goes down. So this game costly in other ways, particularly as the Bows head into 5 consecutive WAC games.
Troy Kopp, as you see there, 5 passing attempts to set the NCAA record for most attempts in a game. 41 for 72. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and unofficially 385 yards. And Winfrey, he is limping off. Pacific, with the kind of potential, they could score at any time. Their receivers are very fleet. They have speed. If they score here, expect the onside kick. Rainbows lead 29-17 with 29 seconds left. It is first down and goal to go. Ball just outside the Rainbow 6-yard line, and Pacific threatening. It is complete, and it is a touchdown. Complete to Kolostian. And for Kolostian, that is his first, well, let's see. Let's see if that is Kolostian. And it is.
It is Kolostian. He doesn't have the great speed, but runs the precise pattern, breaks it to the outside, and the Rainbows try to hit him off at the pass, but cannot. Kolostian might earn himself a little bit more playing time next week with his performance in the late going tonight.
Hellborn out of the hold of Edwards. And that is good. And Pacific, it's now 29-24, 19 seconds left. When we come back, expect the Pacific onside kick. Quarterback sneak. Timeout called immediately by Pacific. 16 seconds left. And still with 2 timeouts. There's Maeva. We thought that his injury was to the knee. Apparently it's to the foot, bruised foot.
I think it's very fortunate that Maeva, when you saw the replay, twisted completely around, looked like it would have been a knee. A bruised foot, you got to feel like David Maeva and the entire Rainbow team will be very happy about that.
So during this timeout, 16 seconds left. We want to thank KHNL Channel 13 in Honolulu for their fine coverage of this game, and the crew. You see Walt Harris.
And, you know, this is very unusual, but you got to like it. As a young coach, he had a bad, tough season last year with not much talent, going 2-10. He's definitely losing this game. He's going around. He's thanking the players for the effort they put out tonight. His guys play hard every single time out. It's one of the things that the coaches feel like that's something you can control. You might not have as much talent as some other people, but if you give the effort, it's all anybody can really ask. And Walt Harris showing his appreciation there.
So we should see another quarterback sneak here. Sean Chink back in the game at center, by the way. Give it to Farmer. Farmer gets to the 45-yard line, and immediately timeout is called with 10 seconds left. And Pacific still has one more timeout. One thing that Walt Harris can be very thankful for this year, very proud of, he has taken a team that really struggled last year. He came in 5-14. He will be 5-15 following tonight, I think. Never can tell with 10 seconds left. But he now is getting national recognition. His team is the third leading passing offense in the nation. And his players play for him with great dignity and great pride. And that's really all you can ask. And even though they may not come out on the winning side, if they tried their best and they played their best, and they really can't lose.
I don't know when the last time I've seen a head coach go around and shake players' hands in a losing effort. That's a class guy.
You see some of the fine people behind the scenes here in the production of this game. And what Walt Harris is doing, of course, is building for the future. Building, building, building. Third down. And no doubt another quarterback sneak. I think Pacific may have jumped offside. Seconds left. It's like looking at a clock that doesn't quite work right.
Well, Rainbows want to get this thing over with without sustaining any other injuries. Don't want to see anybody else laying on their back who's not jumping right up. But we look at the Pacific offense, that was very impressive. Rainbow's going to see a lot of good offensive teams in the next few weeks.
Clock is being reset. There's the clock guy.
And the clock guy does it one push at a time.
And it's back to 10 seconds because it was a dead ball foul. Offside against Pacific. 10 seconds left. I wonder when he was little, what would you like to do? I'd like to be a clock guy. Third down. Gabriel keeps it and is swarmed under. 5 seconds left. And the clock stops right there. This is the final timeout, I believe, for Pacific. And one of the Pacific players slow getting up. That's Troy Reeves out of St. Petersburg, Florida. Five seconds left. This is the final timeout for Pacific. Reeves comes off the field.
And Garrett Gabriel going to have a happy conversation now. At the end, he'll get a little advice on what we're going to do here on fourth down. We don't want to give Pacific any chances, and that's what he's being told by Paul Johnson.
Well, you see some of the very, very young, as far as playing experience, linemen concerned. Ching, the veteran, but Violette and Viliamu and Fonseca, very young.
And I think that young group needed this kind of a second half. You need building blocks, something that you can go on from, and maybe a little more advanced, a little better performance for a longer stretch of time, week by week. But this is going to serve them well down the road. Young guys getting valuable experience.
And the Rainbows 5 seconds away from enjoying, for the first time this season, more wins than losses. It will be 4-3 going into the WAC Wars next week. And it will be a war with New Mexico coming back.
Well, they've got a quarterback as well, Jeremy Leach, another guy that started since his freshman season. And he understands Mike Shepard's scheme down at New Mexico.
Fourth down for the Rainbows. This should be the final play. Gabriel looking for the first down, throws. French catches it. It's a touchdown. He catches it. It's a touchdown. was incredible. I don't believe it.
Well, you talk about the unexpected. I think Pacific was resigned. This is it. Derek Franz on the go pattern, and that was taking candy.
So out of the blue, I mean, this game was ending in a whimper. It was going along and bumping along and never really completing itself. And all of a sudden, with shocking swiftness, the Rainbows throw for the end zone, and they score on fourth down, and they're not going to go for the extra point. It's over 35-24. It has been a struggle tonight in deciding the most valuable player, but the GTE, Hawaiian Tel most valuable player for tonight's game is David Maeva. His spirit, his tenacity, the way he played the game tonight, the way that he led the defense through example, earns him tonight's honors. Hawaiian Tel is pleased to contribute to the General Scholarship of the University of Hawaii. In the name of David Maeva, GTE Hawaiian Tel, beyond the call. Final tonight, Hawaii 35, Pacific 24. The game ends with a statement by the Rainbows that they want to use this particular game as a launching pad back into the WAC.
Well, Jim, I think they need to have good things happen for them in the next 5 weeks. They're going to have to play well. They're going to come up against good offensive teams virtually every single week. And as you mentioned, something to build on right here tonight.
Gabriel, tonight, 210 yards in passing, 3 touchdowns. He leads the team offensively in the second half, and Hawaii comes away with the victory. And for the first time this season, Hawaii has more wins than losses. For Bobby Curran, for our entire staff, this is Jim Leahy wishing you the best from Aloha Stadium. And until next time, many alohas. The final score, Hawaii 35, Pacific 24.